Survive, know the world's my time. feel the heartbeat inside. When you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? When you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk. Me too, I'm just like you, and I need to fuck it up sometime. I'm stuck with ego trips, selling sex to a lovable bar. Sometimes I feel magic, then I manage to fuck up somehow. Get drunk, get drunk, get drunk, get drunk, and I'm getting high. Do you believe in magic?
It used to be luck. You used to be funny. We used to have time. Time without money. We used to feel bad. We used to look sad. We used to have luck. And time without money. We seem to have the time it took. make love in every way. Baby, run away with me. You kill the lonely. You make my eyes not see all the crazy. You make my heart believe. Oh, baby, run away with me. Don't leave me lonely. You make my eyes not see all the crazy. You make my heart believe. You make my heart believe. Run away with me. You kill the lonely. You make my eyes not see all the crazy. You make my heart believe. Baby, run away with me. Don't leave me lonely. You make my eyes not see all the crazy. You make my heart
Today is the beginning of the end and the start of a new beginning. Time has come to refine yourself and let go of the demons in your head that have held you in captivity for so long. It's time to flip the page and prove them wrong. It's time for rebirth. Yeah, time's up to say goodbye to all the haters, doubters, and non-believers trying to bring you down. In the blink of an eye, you'll realize that there's so much more to the book than the page you were stuck on. Finally, you will feel free to live a life you love living instead of the life you think other people want you to live. Remember, you're the highest authority when it comes to knowing what you want and what you love. So stop trading yourself for the approval from others. Ladies and gentlemen, weirdos and geeks, please repeat after me. Now start claiming your time and your mental well-being by saying no more. No more. Say it loudly and proudly. In other words, fuck you. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Target acquired.
Eagle 1, first strike. You have permission to engage the target.
Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. I got to turn that red down, man. That shit is killing it tonight. Where is it? I got the right remote? I think so. Shit's not responding, though. There we go. Fuck, maybe we'll just change the fucking channel. There we go. That's better. Fuck yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's been a whole 22 minutes or ish since the debacle that was the debate with Wick and Non-Fon. We'll get into that here shortly. Give me a second. Let's see who's in the chat. We had chairman of the board in here, but he's over there watching the final moments, the last dregs of reality being drugged from the Jim Bob versus Fabian Liberty debate, which apparently has been epic. I'm going to have to watch it on the replay. So, yeah, chairman of the board made it through. Grillipus made it through. El Shipo Dago up in the house. Good times, sir. Ben has made it in. Good deal. Andrew B up in the house. Steve Granger. So the music selection is the way it is because I have a bunch of different types of listeners. I have a bunch of different taste in music, not always my own. So it is what it is because it flows and it sounds good, and I don't really care if one song kind of offends you. It's my damn music, so just calm your tits and be cool. All right, just be cool. That's all. Just be cool. But anyway, back to it. We've got Andrew Ben, Steve Granger up in the house. Good to see you. Good to see you. I don't have a tattoo, man. I don't have a tattoo. Yeah. 13 made it in the house. Good to see you, sir. Ticky Tack. Scott seemed to be losing it there at the end. I don't know what was going on. I had to tune out because I had to come over and do this stuff. Yep. So let's see. We have conflicting opinions on how that debate is going. I personally think Scott had it, and then he kind of let it slip away, I think. Again, the music stuff going on. I will look for some more grungy type stuff. I like that hard guitar sound, but again, doesn't always make the best sound track. Lord of Pies up in the house. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. For everyone that came to the earlier stream and I wasn't able to call you out and talk to you and be cool with you, I apologize. Unfortunately, that's the way shit happens sometimes. Smoking Spaceman is up in the house doing the moderation duties. I haven't seen Mr. Boulay around in a while, and I'm going to have to reach out to him and make sure he's okay. I hope he is, because kind of miss having that guy around. And Will has made it in the house. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. EOD 696 is all up in the joint. I did not catch the Tim Pool show today, although I was supposed to be on it. I can say that now. Arctic Timberwolf is in the house. That's good to see. Good to see all you guys and girls and unknowns and all that stuff. Team Philip up in the house. Good to see you. Man, what a day it's been already. What a week, man. What a week. Now I am supposed to have a guest tonight. I was on earlier today on Glenn Lawrence's channel. There's an actual movie producer that I was interacting with, and she said that she would be down to come on to the show. And hopefully that still happens. Unfortunately, I think I'm not sure, but I'm thinking that maybe my man Glenn Lawrence went to sleep because he was up like a lot, and I don't know if she's going to get the link to come on the show. I don't know if she's hot, Ben. I haven't seen her in person or on video. But anyway, but she sounded cool on the panel. She sounded like a great guest to have. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about how those fools in the last debate that I was in, how jacked up on crack they are. I'm not really sure. Maybe you guys can help me out here. But I think Wick has brain damage. That dude said some insane shit. We're going to get into that. By the way, I'm placing a bounty. During that show, I didn't realize that I said it, but I was reminded later that I literally said, it's like I'm having to teach a debate class or something like that. I will pay money for the best clip of that. Bring it to me. I want it. Set some music to it. I don't care. Bring me your best clip. That shit needs to go viral hardcore. I'm telling you. I didn't realize I'd said it like out loud, but apparently I did. But I haven't. But of course, I was debating. I wasn't really paying attention to either screen. So I need that clip. I need it. There's money involved here. Bring it to me. I'll pay you. Bring me the best clip you can. I'm the best one. You're gonna make some money. I will pay you for it. So it's a bounty on the best clip of me of asking if I was teaching a debate class. That was fucking hilarious. Yeah. So I don't know what was up with those guys. Nonfon just kept running his same old tired ass shit. So it's he just can't do anything but say the same tired ass shit out of his first year economics textbook. You only sell ass, Ben. No wonder you're fucking broke. Get some money. That's why you can't do the TTS, right? That's why you can't do the TTS. You're not selling enough ass. Ben, my man. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with Wick, man. I was like, I thought Wick was better, and he just kept saying some of the dumbest shit, like insanity. Is that what goes in these realms now? Is that like the real shit? That's crazy, man. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? That was nuts. He's like, oh man. I did kind of make a couple of blunders there. The first thing is that if it is within Trump's power to fire somebody, and he fucking fires them, then what's the point? What's the deal? Oh, Jess. All right, yeah, Jess might be worth the effort. I don't know. Anyway, it's going to be great. We're going to have a great time tonight. It was interesting, right? The debate was interesting. So just to let you guys know, this is like the people that were on the debate panel, other than me and Tyler. No, pardon me. Me and Wick. Me and Wick were the only two originals that were supposed to be on the panel. It was supposed to be Wick and Econoboy versus me and this girl. This like professional, high level executive type person. I don't fucking remember her name. But she was still going to come on, but they pulled they pulled Tyler in first as a backup in case the girl had to quit. And then Non-Fon or Econoboy was brought in case Wick couldn't make it or to back Wick up, whatever. And Econoboy bailed, so they brought Non-Fon in, and they brought Soy Pill in. And Soy Pill didn't show, and the lady didn't show. So it was rough. It was a rough show. I feel bad for Gibbs, but and I was not nice to them tonight. I really shouldn't have been. Yeah, your $10 went to 50 million selling ass. Pussy is 45 an hour. Huh. It's gone down. That's funny as shit. 10th man, I find it interesting how they act like making some statement out of a book you read is the actual reason shit happened. Like, and I wanted to push. I wanted to really push Non-Fon on why manufacturing was actually in these arenas. We have our guest, ladies and gentlemen. Dina, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, and apologize for being late there. I did not have a heads up on this. Yeah,
that's okay. You're good. Welcome to the show. I was just in a debate. I wrecked a few people. I made a comment, and I gotta have the clip. I'm not kidding. I'm going to pay you cash money, ladies and gentlemen. Please bring me the clip, and I will pay you. It was really great. Ben, yes, you're right. It's not an appeal to authority. He's testifying as an expert. That's the problem with Non-Fon. Non-Fon is, I'm sorry, Dina, I have to finish this conversation. We'll move on.
Carry on.
We'll move on in just a minute. I have to be honest that Non-Fon is, he's a good kid. I like him. He's a likable person. And when he gets a job, he will become the staunchest conservative in the country. I promise you. But right now he's got this book that he's reading from, and he thinks because he has this tiny grain of knowledge that he understands it. And so when you push him on it, he can't do anything but testify as an authority himself. He's testifying before you when he's talking about that. And he doesn't actually understand anything he's talking about. It's very interesting. So anyway, I don't know who's on whatever right now. I don't know what's going on. You guys in the chat have lost me. Dina, welcome to the show. If you would and can, please give because I really only talked to you this morning. Can you please give me in the chat, and the few people that are watching this now, but the more people who will watch it later, just give them, just a quick introduction, who you are, what you do, what you've done, all of that.
Sure. I'm Dina Trudy, and I've done acting. I directed a couple of things. Like I directed a web series about 10 years ago. So I started producing some things I had written. And then I directed and produced a feature film concept for a feature film that was like a crime thriller out in Los Angeles when I was living out there. And then now I just finished up a feature film called Token Choke Dispensary, and that one is getting ready to be out there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So where do you fall politically? I'm just curious. Not a loaded question. I'm not going to beat you up or anything. Just curious.
Are we gonna? Is it kind of like a what kind of show is this? Are we gonna go on?
I do political satire. I do commentary. I do interviews. I really am just trying to get to know you. I'm not going to attack you. There's nothing like that. I just want to make sure that really want to make sure that when I say something that I either tone it down a little bit or, just not care. So,
okay. Well, I mean,
I lean towards not caring most of the time, to be honest with you, because if you're going to be mad, you're going to be mad. But yeah.
I think that you should just lean towards just not caring. Go ahead with it.
All right, cool. All right, good deal. Good deal. So the chat's having fun. They're good. The 10th man, as the resident gay guy, I guess we have a resident gay guy now.
Did you say the chat? I'm sorry, I couldn't. I'm in and out. Really, I don't open the chats on these podcasts just because they can be mean. Like you. Oh yeah, I don't give a fuck.
They can be mean.
That's hilarious. Mean in what way? Mean to each other?
Mean to everybody. Right now, I'm not even sure who they're arguing with.
I think that's funny. I think you're hilarious too.
Yeah, I'm not sure who they're arguing with, but right now we do have the 10th man in the chat. That's his name. Is actual gay guy. He's I think he's Canadian, and he's hilarious. But he makes some good points sometime. So mostly they make fun of me, and that's okay. And then I make fun of them. It's a symbiotic relationship.
I do. I don't do podcasts that much. I've done a few of them. I'm not like a huge podcast person, but I did it for Glenn. He's a good friend of mine, and he's in my most recent movie. So he asked me if I'd come on here, and so I figured I'd go ahead and come on for just a little bit. But yeah, I don't open up the chats and stuff like that. I don't do like
that's a good plan. I like that plan a lot.
That's just me.
That's great. So how did you get into the movie business? Was that just like a misspent youth or
well, it was nothing that I really planned to do, to be honest with you. When none of my family is involved in the entertainment industry in any way. So they just kind of thought I was just kind of crazy or like weird, like, oh yeah, you're acting. Oh yeah, that's cool. My brother, my little brothers, they actually started trying to go along with it when we were really young because they wanted to, just be, we all want to beat each other at everything, just siblings or whatever. But then they went and did normal stuff. And I did get a business degree. I thought I was going to do some pretty normal stuff too, but instead I ended up just acting and then producing and then directing. So.
Yeah, I mean that is kind of a departure, but how did that happen? Did you just go to an audition, or you were in theater club, or how did that even happen?
I was on Mars, and literally I was on the planet.
Okay. Hello? Did we lose her?
And then
now we're back. We lost you a lot there.
Came to me, and then I
fading out.
Shot back down to Earth, and I decided I was going to do it. Just a straight up alien.
Okay.
You hear me? Okay, you can hear me now.
It keeps fading out for some reason.
Okay. Well, I'll keep on talking and just let me know if you can hear me okay or no.
Okay. So you just sort of fell into the acting portion of it.
No, I'm totally kidding. I did some
Okay.
auditions and I really tried to get out there and do it, learn as much as I could. I was like involved with the Phoenix Film Institute for a little while when I was in Arizona, but that was just because I had to be in some kind of a school while I was on probation. That was what I was doing when I was like a teenager. I was like on probation. I was in trouble with the law and stuff.
Oh, troubled youth.
A troubled youth. That's what happened. So then that's what led me straight to acting and directing, which made sense.
I mean, it kind of does in a weird way.
If you say so.
That's interesting. Were you troubled because you were like rebelling? Were you doing the like? Because I don't know how old you are. When I grew up, I got in trouble as well, but it wasn't. A lot of people thought I was rebelling, but I wasn't. It was just I got in trouble because I was just an angry, mean kid, and I wanted to be angry and mean. So, you know,
Yeah.
but other people, I knew people that were rebelling, and they were like, they didn't like their parents, or they had a problem with whatever, just something that they felt like they needed to fix in their life. So
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. With me, I think it just I don't really know exactly how it went on, but I do know that it was like a first arrest with marijuana when I was like 12 years old. So that's how it kind of went on.
okay, I didn't see that coming, but okay, all right.
That's what I had. Yeah. I had a possession of marijuana and then I got arrested when I was like 12 years old. And so then it was kind of like back and forth with these youth, like, like youth arrests or whatever. And so then, I mean, nobody in my family had ever been in trouble with the law before. So then not only was I weird, but I was also like a problem for them. So yeah, I did my best with that. And then I changed it around. Yeah.
Okay, all right. What kind of roles do you like to play when you are? So I'm assuming you're mostly producing now. You're mostly like in the administration or production aspect of it. But do you still act?
Yeah, I'm in the movie Token Choke Dispensary. I really like acting a lot, and I definitely still act. I like portraying all kinds of different characters, but particularly I actually really like I do lean more towards the bad characters, like the antagonist type characters in the movie, but it just kind of depends on what the role is.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, there are always those characters that tend to play like the bad guy, right? Like Mickey Rourke is just one of the best bad guys. He
Yeah.
just is, right? And so and then there are other people who, when they try and play a bad guy role or whatever, it just comes off so contrived, right? Like it's I don't care how well they get directed or how much money's put behind it. It's just not I guess not believable is the right word.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
That's true.
okay.
Yeah, so I don't know much about you yet.
Oh, I'm an open book. You can ask me literally anything, and if I don't want to tell you, I'll just tell you I don't want to tell you. Can you see my video here, or are you?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool, awesome.
Yes.
Well, I am. I'll tell you. I'll give you a quick bio of me. I also had a misspent youth. Because of a misspent youth, even though I was involved in my church. I was, I wanted to be a good kid, but at the same time, I was a pretty angry kid. I was very poor, and I felt I was very picked on. But at the same time, I was I was highly educated, I guess. I was pretty smart. And at one point in high school, I realized that if I continued forward in the way that I was living my life, it was probably going to end really badly. And an opportunity came up and this is with some help of, like men in my life that saw that, hey, this is a good kid that does bad things because he has a chip on his shoulder, he has a lot of pride, he's arrogant, that sort of thing. And so an opportunity came to get a scholarship to go to a military academy. and I won. And I went there, and it was back when I think that the military academies in this country were really pretty good, even though they had a very bad rap because they were very strict, very stern. And I enjoyed almost. I enjoyed the entire experience overall. Certainly, there were times when I really regretted my decision when I was sleeping on a concrete porch in the rain because we didn't get the dining hall cleaned in time or something. I mean, that sucked. But overall, it kind of molded me into a much more complete human being. That where I wasn't competitive before, really, I've been highly competitive ever since. And so after high school, I got into. I went to college, but I mostly raced. I did a lot of car racing. I started very small, and then I moved into progressively more professional levels, culminating in I mean, we've the team that I worked for at the time won the 24 Hours of Daytona. I've won in basically every form of motorsports except for motorcycles and boats. Those haven't really dipped my toe in, but everything else pretty much done it, especially with the car. And I own my own shop. I built a kind of a mini empire of shops. And then when I was 45, I sold those. And I thought I was going to retire, and my wife was going to work because she wanted a career, and it just seemed like it was going to work out. And that has, for the past almost 10 years, that has actually kind of worked that way. But now, when COVID happened, that kind of changed the dynamic a little bit. But mostly, we had another son, and now she wants to stay home more. I'm bored. I can't stay still. So we're buying new businesses right now. I've got a bunch of rental properties, so I'm exceedingly conservative. I consider myself a constitutional conservative. I'm a competitive shooter. All of the really interesting hobbies I do, like all of them, like airplanes, motorcycles, cars, shooting. I used to play pool. I don't anymore really, but all of whatever is cool. I probably have done it or am doing it or it's on the list. So I got have actually a lot of productive comments from the chat, such as, what was the worst project that you've produced? Tell us a story.
Worst project I produced, definitely the first project that I produced, I consider to be my worst, just because I was on such a low budget. I had, almost no money trying to do the web series. I feel like it's the worst because the sound was just so bad. And when I watched it and I hear the sound mistakes, I cringe every time because I know that I did such a horrible job with the sound on my web series. Yeah, that's the worst. That was the worst for sure. But, it's like, I don't feel horrible about it. I just learned about it. I cringe because I could have done a better job if I would have had more money, but I didn't. So that was what I did.
And Tiki Tack also asked, describe your worst employee.
Okay. Worst employee. Obviously, I'm not going to name the name here, but in the camera department, in the camera department, I had we have lenses that are like we had some lenses on this film that were like very expensive, like $30,000 lenses. And my camera guy tells me, he's like, the second AC is kind of tossed the lens over here. He's kind of tossing lenses around. I'm like, what do you mean he's tossing lenses around? He's like, he's tossing lenses around. Maybe you could just talk to him, before we really have a problem. And I'm like, okay, I think I will. So I was like, yeah. So this is the thing. If we damage a $30,000 lens, I don't have the fucking money to pay for it. And I I don't think that you have the fucking money to pay for it. I'm like, so it basically, if you toss a lens again, you're going to leave the set, because I had no other option but to say this. So I'm like, and I'm not always there to watch it. So I am going to take the camera department's word on how you handled the lens. So I went to, a camera department, and actually he did end up mishandling a lens again. I had to ask him to leave the set, and he didn't want to leave the set. It was pretty rough. But then he did leave the set because there was no other option.
So I didn't realize that low budget films typically rent lenses, and they're like super protective of them because they have to give them back.
That's a good point. Yeah. And usually it is, unless the camera person owns their own lenses. And then, of course, they're obviously super protective over those too, because we're basically borrowing them for the set. Like I'm saying to this guy, hey, we want to use this lens, and whatever. And he's saying, all right. And he wants to, make sure that camera department are people that are going to be, handling his equipment properly, of course, etc. So.
How do you manage the audio and all of that on set with on a low budget film? Because I know, like in big budget films, there's like no audio, right? Like who cares? It doesn't matter. They do it all in post. But on low budget films, are you using various mics and all of that to get the sound and the effects that you want, or how does that work?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why on the web series, I definitely learned a lot, even though I already kind of had an idea. I didn't have the money to get the different types of mics. So shotgun, like boom mic for the overall sound and the, tone of the room sound. And then you've also got the lav mics that are hooked up to the actors. Those are the smaller mics that are, hooked up so that you can get that clear sound for each actor. And I just didn't even have the money to get everybody laved up for the web series. So we were kind of going off of different types of microphones. That's why the sound is so screwed up on that one.
Okay. Yeah. I have spent, so we actually have, in my network, there's a guy. And when I started to do this, I had no idea about about cameras, about lighting, about any of it. And so someone I trust put me in contact with the guy who does all of his audio and video. And I had a long conversation with him, and he talks to me about all of this stuff. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty interesting. So I have become an expert, if you will, in these little niche lenses and mics and all of the effects and everything that I have going on here, whether I wanted to do or not. Because without it, if in things, little things will bug me, like tonight my lighting's not quite right and it's annoying the crap out of me. But I can't fix it because it takes time to fix it, and we just have to roll, right? And probably nobody else notices, nobody else cares.
No, nobody does care about the lighting. I'm just saying, probably not. You're right.
Yeah. But I get a lot of comments on like the lens clarity and things like that. And I appreciate all of those comments because I put so much time into it that I didn't intend to spend any. Honestly, I thought I'd just buy a camera and that's it. Done. We're good to go.
No, like it looks good though.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
That's a $30 lens.
Right on.
So it's a $30 lens. I have a whole pile. I even, like, I don't know if you can see it, but I have another camera.
Oh, yeah.
And I have another camera because that camera may not make it through this show, and I may have to go to the backups. And so they're all the same camera, and they're all, they have different lenses on them right now because I had them doing different things. But even just in my little one-room studio here, I've become an equipment geek, and I didn't even want to.
Yeah, but that's cool.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So do you work directly with the actors and actresses and all of, or are you more of the like the riggers and the grips and that sort of thing? What do you mostly do on set?
Well, to be honest, I mean, I work with everyone. I do like to work with the actors a lot one-on-one when I'm directing, even though I like to give the actors a lot of freedom. as a director.
Mm.
But so I mean, I work with the actors, and I also work a lot with the crew, just because since I'm producing too, I I have to work with the crew too, and I want to, just to make sure everything is set up the way it needs to be. So working with the lighting department to kind of set the shot before we get going, and then checking the sound, and then going with the camera department, checking that out with the frames. And we've got a little video village set up, depending on how big the how big the budget is, where I can actually look at the screen and see what we're looking at when we get going, that kind of thing. So
neat. So so this is what you're going to do, like, for the rest of life, or do you have aspirations to other things?
I kind of like have goals to produce other films. Yes. Aspirations to do other things in life. Definitely. It wasn't what I planned on doing in life. This wasn't a goal to become a film director or a producer. This was not one of my goals in life at all. I never planned on it. My goal in life actually was to do some kind of marketing, business, and finance. That's really what I've done a lot. I've worked in finance and that kind of background. So that's really where I thought I was going with it. And I really like acting a lot. So I love acting. So my goal also was maybe to get a good role at some point in my life and really kind of get something out of that.
Okay. Who's Tiki Tack wanted you to describe the dumbest actor that you've had to work with.
Dumbest.
Haphazard, I don't know what he's asking for there.
Yeah, sometimes it's like a safety issue where, like, an actor, like one example might be if somebody is putting themselves in danger to get the role. I won't say it like one specific person, but I've seen a couple of people do stuff. It's like, in my opinion, it's pretty dumb. So I might say, like, well, if you do something to get yourself really injured just to get the role, that might be pretty dumb.
Yeah, absolutely. Will is asking, what studio do you dream of working with?
I have been on all of the studio lots, like the major studio lots. I've been on all the studio lots, and I'm interested in, like, all the studios are, there's only so many, and they're all cool. I like Netflix too, which is also a studio, even though it's streaming.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily have one that I dream to work with exactly. But I'm talking to, I've spoken to all the studios, and I've been at all the studio lots, and they're all cool. So
what's the most difficult part, really, of like, is it getting the funding for the movies? Is it getting the staff put together? What is really, on your end, what's the most difficult part of getting a movie done? I know you kind of talked about it a little bit, but I was driving and was fading in and out, so I'm curious to actually hear the answer on that.
Sure. And really what it is for me, from my perspective as an independent filmmaker, the most difficult part is raising the funds, the financing of the project. That's the most difficult thing to do. And then distribution. So actually making, even though this sounds really weird, actually making the film, or making the project, producing it, for me is not nearly as difficult as getting the money, or getting, the correct distribution platform for the movie or show.
What would you say is, like, I don't know, what would you say is the obstacle for, like, content creators like myself and some of the folks in chat and all of that?
I think really it's with this kind of a thing, this is just my opinion, with this kind of a thing, with like a podcast and the types of things you do, I think you're for me, you're interesting. So I'm liking this, otherwise, to be totally upfront with you, if I wasn't liking it, I probably would have just hopped off.
Sure.
But I'm liking it, and you seem cool. I like the podcast. So it's like, it's about, for you, I think the difficult obstacle is really just having more people see you and be able to actually, it's like, how do you get that audience to actually see you so they can get to watch check out the podcast?
Engagement is always the biggest issue, to be honest with you. And I've struggled with different trying to find different ways to do that. And I just, from just as kind of a personal sideline, like the things that I have thought would get me maximum engagement, and what I've been told by other people, oh yeah, if you do this, you'll get all these viewers. And I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, we'll do it. And it never happens. And now that I'm just kind of doing my own thing, and I really give zero fucks, and I well, first of all, I'm a little more motivated now to make it be really cool, because before I really wasn't. I really didn't. I mean, I was motivated to do the show, and I wanted to make a good show, but that's my competitive nature. But now I want it to be like more than just successful. I think that there's an ecosystem here that I can promote the people that I interact with. I've developed a network of people who not only watch the show, but actually benefit me and my show, and I can benefit them. And we can talk about that in just a minute, about some of the ways I've done that. But for me, the frustration has been the engagement, and I've kind of given up on really caring about it. And what that has done is that since I've done that, and I just don't care, I have had way more doors open. I was actually, I don't know if you know who Tim Pool is. I was supposed to be on Tim Pool today. I can talk about it now because it's over, and it didn't happen. But I will probably be on in the next few weeks or month or whatever. We'll see when they need somebody to come on and argue in a dramatic fashion. But I was going to be on Tim Pool today. I was supposed to fly out last night and be on Tim Pool. The problem was I was on the wrong side of the argument, and I can't argue from a position that I can argue both sides of most debates. I couldn't get there on this one. I just didn't really care enough. And even though it would have been massive, right? Like Tim Pool's got, such a massive following. And I think you were on, I don't know if I came through, but when we were talking this morning about how the engagement works and how people think about YouTube. And I've been listening to Andrew about this for a long time. And it's starting to really make sense about how big the YouTube universe really truly is. And we get stuck in these little niches, and we think that only the same 200 people, we're all sharing the same 200 person viewing pool, right? But that's not the truth. The truth is there are millions and millions of people out there that want to see the things that we're putting out. And I think that probably filmmakers get into that too. I don't know that I'm guessing, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think that probably, when somebody makes a movie that is really strongly going to appeal to a specific, or they think it's going to strongly appeal to a specific audience, and so they're not really expecting that much. A lot of times that movie blows up massively, or can blow up massively, because it appeals to a bunch of different people. And there's massive amounts of people out there that we don't even think about as being a part of our audience. And this is something that I'm really struggling to really get my head around personally, because I look at my screen counter and I'm like, well, we got 32 people watching us live right now. Why don't I have 150? Well, actually, I know tonight there's like a bunch of debates going on, and we do share from that pool. So how do I reach the people who would watch this show that are outside of the 200 or 300 person pool that regularly watches this group? And that's the problem I have. That's where I'm at. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So,
Yeah.
And I'm sure that it's the same thing in independent films, right? You've got to market. You've got to cross market and do all of these things.
Yeah, like with the web series, it was like that because it was like a YouTube thing. So the only place that I could really promote is my own social media, and it's like my own social media stuff like that, or like word of mouth. It's like just travels around, and it's so that's like the only way. Like I didn't really try and promote the web series or anything. I really more pitched it internally.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was creating something that was just kind of very specific, like a specific time frame, like 22-minute episodes for something that I was kind of going for.
Lindsay Smith, what works for you will not work for me. That's not going to happen. I mean, I don't care if I take my clothes off. Nobody else is going to watch me. Now, if you take your clothes off, then I get arrested. So don't do that. I'm sorry. Lindsay trolls me a little bit here and there. I don't think she likes me. But she's a good egg for the most part. So yeah, kind of went off the rails there. So who's what would be a dream project for you? Like if you were really gonna like, I'm not saying unlimited budget, but if you had enough budget and you had the people you wanted to work with.
Yeah. Well, it would probably be one of the projects that I actually already wrote, since I have a few features that I really dream to produce. So it would be one of those films, most likely.
Okay. Yeah. Any particular subject matter or direction?
Well, I wrote a film that I did a concept shoot for. We shot for like 4 months in the Hollywood Hills for this one, and it's about two girls that rob a drug dealer. It's about cocaine trafficking. It's like a crime thriller.
Okay.
And that one, it's kind of I don't know, it's kind of edgy, but it was really fun. So that one, or I wrote a story that's based on true events about an all-girls youth juvenile prison. That one is a thriller, and it is, I don't know, it's kind of like a drama thriller. I would really like to be able to produce that one at some point too.
Yeah, Smoking Spaceman. So one of the things we do here, I don't know, we're talking about promoting. I meant to put this out earlier. So regardless of who you are, if you come onto this channel, even if I don't like you, we will promote you while you're on. And anytime you come on, we promote you. And since you don't have a YouTube channel that I'm aware of, one of my moderators, Smoking Spaceman out there, has just posted, if anyone is interested in tonight's guest, she has an interesting bio and filmography on IMBD. I'm also on IMBD. Don't go looking for me. There's nothing there. But please check out our guest work, and I don't know if it helps her exactly, but I'm sure it doesn't hurt to have people, to have, more people looking at her work.
Right on. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. This is just something I started when I realized that I could do that, and it doesn't hurt me at all. Like, and literally other channels, creators are so jealous that they don't allow links in their chat, which we don't allow random people to post links, but they don't promote people who come on. They don't, they just maybe let you say a few words at the end, or introduce yourself and, oh, here's my channel, whatever. But no, the whole time you're on, they'll spam it out there, and we'll try and get everybody to go over there. And then anybody that watches it with the chat enabled will see that. And maybe they'll go visit your IMDb. I cannot talk tonight.
That's okay. IMDb.
Yeah, IMDb, and check it out, and maybe that helps you out. I don't know. So, but it's something that I've done, and usually, we do all of the. Basically, if somebody comes on to have a channel, we'll spam that throughout the night while they're on, and because it's the least I can do. First of all, you're a guest, and second, rising tides raises all boats, correct? And so you coming on helps me, and me promoting your work or volume of work helps you. So that's
right on. Thank you.
How that needs to happen.
I just want to ask you a question.
Sure.
I was just kind of wondering, where are you from originally?
I'm from Tennessee.
Okay. Okay. I just kind of wondered.
Yeah,
Um,
I was born about 2 miles from where I'm currently at.
okay. All right. Yep. I have kind of like it's like a weird on my side because I know you mentioned IMDb, so now I'm just thinking about the beginning of the IMDb and how it talks about my mom and dad. Because my mom, she's from the South, she's from Mobile, Alabama,
Mm.
and my dad is actually from Canada. It was a weird situation. They met in Hawaii. My
Oh,
mom
wow.
was like traveling in Hawaii. My dad was on a business trip or something, and they met there. Um, so yeah, so my mom's from. So I've visited. I've been in the South a lot. I mean, my brothers are in Texas, and it's all right in Texas.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like all of those places except Canada.
yeah.
Um, so that's just me, though. Nothing against Canadians. Just
Yeah, no, that's okay. So, but I mean, like, it's just like we all have, what we have, and it's when being born in Canada. So I was born there, and I was like I was a baby when my parents moved the family.
mm,
So, they moved to California where my dad, got a job. So we moved around a lot when I was younger too. I moved around and I
mm.
lived a lot of places in the U.S. and like New York, New Jersey, and now I'm in Arizona. I was in California for a while.
I like Arizona a lot. I normally go there once a year. Um, Actually, I would have been there just a few weeks ago, and for a huge match that they put on there. And I haven't gone for the last 2 years because I hurt myself, and I would like right around Christmas time I'd start thinking about doing it, and then I'd realize that no, I'm still not really healed yet, so can't do it. Can't go do crazy things.
Yeah,
It hurts
yeah.
my feelings. So hopefully next year, um, I'll be able to.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. But let's see. You were talking about how use the word bitch too much earlier. I remember that. Is that just like a colloquialism that you and all your friends use? Just call each other bitches all the time?
Definitely not. I've never I've never like heard anyone do what I do, so I try and tone down on it. I'm not really sure why, and it was so random. I didn't mean to do it. It was actually an accident. I was just telling a story about a woman on the red carpet when I went for a Grammy thing, and I thought I was going to get my picture taken only,
Mm.
but this woman kind of like snuck up on me, and so I said, "Well, so here came this bitch on the red carpet, and this bitch put the thing in my face and was like, 'Talk, I have something to ask you.'" And then I was like, "Oh, I didn't mean to call her a bitch." And sometimes I accidentally call someone a bitch and didn't mean it, but whatever.
The
I
chat
didn't
is
say it to
figured
her.
the chat has figured out how to read the IMDb, and they're like, "Am I reading this correctly?" Dina
Oh,
was in the
great.
movie Bumblebee and Thor and Iron Man 3, and
Oh, great. But yeah, so it was a really weird situation with that. And I don't mean that like everyone is a bitch or anything like that. I definitely didn't like turn around and call her a bitch. I just randomly sometimes will say it. And sometimes it could be even like a guy, if like some guy is like acting like want to say like, "Oh my God, that guy was such a bitch." Could you believe it? Like, like I don't know. But no, I've never heard anyone to say it to me. No, I don't say it to friends, and no, I don't just say it randomly. Not at
oh,
all.
gotcha. Okay, because
Yeah.
I actually do know people that basically use "bitch" as a colloquialism amongst their friends,
I've
and
heard girls. I've heard girls do
they're
that, or even guys. I've heard some guys. Some guys do.
yeah,
Let's not go there. But
yeah,
yes, I have
no.
definitely
We'll get
heard that.
this man all excited out there talking about
Yeah.
all the potential gayness out there.
Right.
Um, so, um, yeah, so those are some pretty major movies.
Yeah, I mean, I started out doing really small movies in Arizona where I was independent films like short films and little like drama, different like genres and stuff that I thought was, that I thought I don't know, was interesting. I went and I did a lot of auditions. I actually met up with a lot of independent filmmakers to kind of see how things were going. And that's how I really learned about production too, was more hands-on, really with just friends that were filmmakers or being on the set, just checking the whole thing out, seeing what everybody's doing, and then started talking to people more and more as I got on more sets and just saw it was, it was more interesting to me.
I get that. I get that. Mikey Balls, the problem is you only have one leg to stand on. So it's going to be a one-sided fight. So, Mikey Balls lost his leg in a motorcycle accident.
Oh, my God.
And the way this dude, so the dude's in my chat about almost a year ago now. And he's like, man, I really, and I thought he was a drunk. Like, I thought he was about to be belligerent. He's like, man, I really like your stream. I want to be a part of it. And he sent me this picture. He's like, he's like, hey, I want to send you this picture, something. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I gave him the Discord. He goes to the Discord and posts a picture in the main chat of him with his leg missing, and there's pieces of leg meat. Like, it looked like a movie set. It looked like something from a movie, and his blood everywhere and all this kind of stuff. And he's and my mods are like, should we delete this? Is this like TOS? Is this is he trolling you? And I'm like, I think he's real about this. And so he's from California as well. And so, but he has one leg, and I joke with him all the time. And he will also as well join in the ribbing as long as you give him time to put his leg on. And,
right on. Okay. I will definitely do that.
But don't take it the wrong way when I'm being mean to people.
Oh, no, you don't have to worry about that.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So so you got into acting. Sounds like relatively young, and is that basically the only job you've ever had?
Well, no, not even close to be. When I first got out of this juvenile facility, I got a job at Macy's, and then after Macy's, I got a job waiting tables. I've worked in so many different places. I worked at that Sonic Drive-In when I was like 18. I've worked at a lot of different, then I moved into like business, and I got a business degree, and I started working at a business center inside of a resort in Arizona, and just kind of different things, and even some investment firms actually I worked at too. So
okay. All right. And so you just like acted off and on?
Yeah, it was kind of off and on.
Passion, right?
Yeah, like it was because, well, okay, like how I mentioned, my parents, nobody's involved in the entertainment industry. So my parents were really heavily like pushing education and, do something with your life kind of a thing. And what are you doing? And especially since I had just gotten out of this facility, they wanted to make sure that I wasn't, going down some kind of wrong path still. So I really wanted to kind of prove to my parents that I was doing the right thing. So I got a business degree. Like my dad, he got his PhD really young in operations research, one of those.
Oh, wow.
He's very intelligent, and so is my mom. She's really, intelligent person too, and has a degree. And so they just wanted me to, just work. And so that's the reason why I didn't full-fledged go just right into acting. And I did that for a while, and I saved up some money and was like, hey, I'm moving to Los Angeles. I'm going to try it out. And they're like, are you out of your mind? And I'm like, yes, I guess I am. And I'm going to go to give it a shot. And that's what happened.
All right.
Yeah.
Arthur Daya, DT is Dina Trudy. She's our guest tonight. She is apparently quite an accomplished actress who also produces and directs and does all aspects of movie making, as near as I can tell. And it's pretty. It's been a pretty interesting interview so far. And when I'm treating this more like an interview than a casual show, but Tiki Tack does come in here with a little bit with what is the dating market for an accomplished woman? That's an interesting question.
What is the dating market for an accomplished woman? Let
That
me.
could also be a dig at Arthur Daya because she is a anesthesiologist and critical care doctor at a Miami hospital. So it could be a dig at her as well.
Even though I look at myself as an accomplished female, I don't know if I have the answer to that question because I don't really think about. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I guess
Fair.
it's. I guess good. I don't know. All
Yeah.
right. Could be good. It depends on what you're looking for. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Have you been married or divorced or any of that stuff?
No.
Oh, interesting. I have been married for 20 years.
Nice.
It is actually. It's really cool. I never actually thought I'd get married. And then when but I knew that if I ever got married, it would be one time. It's a one shot gig. Like I'm not going to be one of those dudes that just, makes the same mistake over and over again. So
Do you have kids?
I do have 2 kids. I have one. Oh, you're going to love. I have one that's 14 and another that's 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Boys or girls?
Boys. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. My wife is awesome. My wife is Chinese though. So, and she's pretty based and she is actually in finance as well. And actually did, she's a investment banker. And, so she's now kind of wanting to get out of that, or she has, I mean, I don't know. I think she wants to get out of that and be more entrepreneurial like myself. But we'll see. We'll see how that works.
It's strange because I was going to mention it back when you said the military academy, but now I'm definitely going to mention it more and more. I'm hearing similarities with things with my brother. My brother, he also went to a military academy when he was younger, and then he's not his wife. At this point, his girlfriend for a very long time. She's Asian and also involved in finance. Kind of interesting there. The more you went on, I said, well, let me say the military academy.
A recipe for success.
Yeah, and I mean he's there. He's in Dallas. I have 2 brothers. They're both in Texas. So
Okay. All right. So there's I'm sure there's a million other things we can talk about. And I'm just I'm struggling because I don't know, I really wasn't actually able to pay a whole lot of attention this morning while you were talking because I was busy doing something stupid. We have a lake house we don't use anymore, or don't use very much anymore. So we use it as an Airbnb. And at some point, all of the pots and pans which were decent quality Teflon, cool stuff. They all got ruined. Like people have used knives in them or something. I don't know.
it's a great looking place, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. My wife did all that. I take no credit. And so I had to go buy, this is the stupidest thing ever, is I had to go buy pots and pans because I have people staying there. Yeah. And that was, and it's a pretty nice place. And I have all 5-star reviews and I expect to maintain that.
Yeah, sure.
And so it was a very stupid thing, but that's why I was all over the place this morning. So
sorry. It's okay.
I know, no worries. Well, Glenn knows that the mornings are rough for me because I'm, first of all, I can't sit still. And the worst time of day for me to sit still is in the morning. I got to be doing something. So,
this morning was kind of weird for me too. It was like I had been up since 3 o'clock in the morning. I do
3 a.m. right?
Yeah, I had to do some like really weird kind of international business this morning. So when you're dealing with these countries that are hours and hours ahead of us, it's like a different situation for me that I haven't done before, except for in the past like year or so that I've been working on a new film. And so, that contributed to my new sleeping pattern. I see at the bottom a question. What contributed?
Yes. Lindsay, my troublemaker, says, what contributed to your juvenile delinquency if it's not too personal?
What contributed to my juvenile delinquency? What contributed to it? I would say marijuana, unfortunately, and
Mm.
I do still smoke it to this day.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, but that's what contributed to it. If we want to go really deep into what contributed to it, like were my parents divorced and I went through some kind of horrible upbringing and maybe I was raised in the ghetto or whatever. No, none of that.
None of that. Happy home.
My dad was a visiting
Okay.
professor at Stanford when we
Ooh.
moved to New Jersey and lived in a nice house there in New Jersey with my
I got
brothers
an
who are.
apartment in New Jersey.
Oh,
In
really?
Jersey City. Yeah, in Jersey City. Yeah.
Okay. And I've been to Jersey City quite a few times. We were in Marlboro. I don't know if you know the area, but it's freehold. It's it's an upscale neighborhood, very nice area. And so then yeah, when everything kind of went down for me was when we moved to Arizona. We moved to Arizona when I was 12. And I mean, it's not too personal for me to tell you here on the channel what happened. I guess this is what happened right before everything went on. So I'll just tell you what it was. What happened was we moved to Arizona. I was 12. My brothers are, 5 years younger than me. So they're 7 and they're twins, Paul and
Mhm.
Michael. And what happened was my mom was really close to her dad. He's heavy military, like he's a captain in the military, and I was really close to him too. And she was so close to her father that he passed away about a week after we moved to Arizona, and she really
Wow.
kind of really lost it.
Off the deep
And
end, right? Yeah, I get that. I've seen that
she
happen.
really did. It was really, really, really hard for her. She just, for whatever reason, just was not as close to her mother at all. She was just extremely close to her father. And so what she actually ended up wanting my dad to leave. And so I was there with my younger brothers and my mother, and she went through an extremely difficult time and some really rough things went on there. And I just kind of think I wanted to get out of the house a little bit. And I guess I felt like, kind of escape out of there a little bit. So
Sure. Yeah. There was a movie about that. Do you ever see this movie called Pump Up the Volume, where the kid moves to Arizona, like Nowheresville, Arizona, and there's like in a subdivision and feels like
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's Christian Slater. It's really good.
Okay. Pump Up the Volume.
Pump Up the Volume. Yeah.
I'll check it out.
And he's like, all I want to do, and it's a very funny movie. You might like it. I don't know. I'm being asked to ask you what kind of music you like, and if you ever produced any music videos.
Cool. Yeah, I love music. I like all kinds of music, specifically alternative, grunge music, some more like heavier, like some I'll listen to a little bit of metal. Sometimes I listen to some rap music. I do like rap music. What else do I like? I mean, I listen to all kinds. I even listen to, I never used to listen to country music, but over the last few years, I actually got a little interested in some country music. I don't mind that. Once in a while, I'll throw some jazz or some classical music on to kind of put me in a specific type of mood. So I like all kinds of music.
All right. Yeah, that's good. That's good. The and now since I mentioned the movie, everybody's like pirate radio station in the chat, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing now is my own pirate radio station.
Yeah.
So, fulfilling my youth in my old age.
Oh yeah, I like you so in my old age.
Well, I am old. I turned 54 the other day.
Okay, that's not that old. Yeah.
This is pretty old. Yeah, I married. I didn't get married until I was 35, and my wife was 24.
Mhm.
So 11-year difference, and it was it's an interesting dynamic because it works out perfectly for me. I'm not sure that it would work out perfectly for everyone. So what do you think about age gap relationships, and do you think like as people get older, especially people that haven't married, and this is a unique perspective because normally I hear from people that have been married at least once or twice, and as you kind of move up through the years, does that change your thinking at all?
No.
You don't have to answer that. I mean, you can always tell me to.
No, it doesn't change my thinking at all.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
What do you think about the age gap relationship thing? Do you criticize that, or you don't care?
I don't see any reason to criticize it, right? The person is over the age of legal consent. I don't criticize it, no.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. I have normally, of course, I don't get that because my wife was obviously she was 24, but I've heard, I hear quite often in this space, the same people that will talk that it's okay for a 50-year-old to date a 25-year-old will get super pissed about a 35-year-old dating a 21-year-old. And
Okay, they're bitches. Let me just cut you off. They're bitches. No, I'm just kidding.
Right,
Sorry.
yeah.
Sorry.
Like, what are you talking about? So it's a very interesting thing, where people, it's like the same. It's why does that metric move your frame of mind? I get, maybe you get down into like the 18, 17-year range. That's a little weird. That's a little creepy. But anyway, I was just curious. It's just an interesting conversation. I don't often, to be honest, you don't often get to ask questions like that. So I had to take advantage of it while it was here.
Okay.
So, you live in Arizona. Are you like Prescott?
I'm in Scottsdale.
Scott. So I don't know where Scottsdale is.
Okay. It's near Phoenix. It's near Phoenix. It's
Okay.
like one of the it's like, it's a nice area.
I've always been down like in what is the name of that? Where do I fly into? I fly into Tucson, and there's one like right in it doesn't matter. I've been to I fly into, like, I think it is Tucson, and I forget the name of the town that I go to from there. That's even a little further south. So
yeah, I like going up north here too. I mean, Arizona, I like Arizona too, just because, you can go up north and it's like totally different. You can get snow up there and everything. It's just totally different climate, north.
Yeah. I've driven through Arizona many times, and I have had the experience of snow in Arizona, which was weird to me. Mesa, Arizona is what I was trying to think of. Mesa.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been to Mesa. I don't particularly love Mesa, but
it's pretty far down there, and it's hot.
Yeah, it is.
It's hot. So even when it's cold, it's hot. Hotter than normal. Like, that's why we go there in the winter to do cool stuff. Do you shoot? Do you do any sports? Do you do anything cool?
Yeah, I mean, I think I do some cool stuff. I just do stuff that I like to do. Shooting, yeah, I like to do it, so I do it. Some target practice, like going out to the shooting ranges and stuff like that. Yeah, I like to do that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Sports, I don't know, like for fun. I do it for fun. I never got into it in school just because I wasn't in like a normal school because I wasn't able to be. So I didn't get into sports in school or anything like that. But yeah, I like sports, and for fun, I mean, I do a lot of outside stuff. Like when I drove through Mexico, I was talking about that. I like to do a lot of like getting out there. I was, like cliff jumping, going to the cenotes and checking out like the, just getting outdoors and outdoor stuff. I like that kind of stuff. Off-road too. I mean, I do a little off-road stuff too.
Oh, okay. That's cool. The one thing about I think that's interesting, all of my friends in Arizona all kind of hang out together. Same thing in Nevada. Like all my friends in Nevada kind of hang out. It's like, and they're all kind of outdoorsy people, but it's not unusual when I'm out there, or when I used to go out there and hang out with them. It wasn't unusual for someone just randomly to call up and go, "Hey, we're going to go jet skiing, or we're going to go off-roading out into the hills, or we're going to drive up to St. George and do some trail riding on bikes or something." It was just really like this really impromptu excursion experience. They were always ready to go.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic, I think. Yeah. So what do you think of the show so far?
I mean, I don't have too much thought on the show so far. I like it. You know, it's like you're easy. You know, I like talking to you. It seems pretty decent. I don't, like I said, with the podcast, with the chat. Like, if there's a question that comes up on the screen that you feel like you want to put up there and stuff like that, I'll look at it and I'll check it out. I don't like to like go through a whole bunch of, just because the other podcasts I've been on, it's like all these crazy. There's all this crazy, like, I'm not going to use any bad language, all this crazy stuff in the chat that I just don't care to look at, because I don't care. Like, no matter, like, it's like, okay, it's not that I don't care about what people think, because of course it's like, if somebody has a question and they think something, they want to know something, sure, I'll care to answer if it's like reasonable, like a reasonable question. But otherwise, I just,
Ben being a troublemaker is normal. No, I'm not looking for compliments. However, I have someone here that's a producer that does this professionally, and so getting an actual opinion by somebody that has made money doing this is a rare occurrence for me. I take advantage of such things. Just being honest. Um,
I like the line of questioning. I don't think that it's gone like to a point where it's like an uncomfortable or weird line of questioning. I think it's kind of like you're just a basic kind of, it's like you're kind of to the point, which I like. You're direct. You're not beating around the bush with
I don't
stuff.
know anything about you, so I have to be direct, right? Like,
Yeah. So I mean, I like it.
yeah, I can't be like, so what about that time in fourth grade, Dina? I
Yeah.
can't do that, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you don't know.
Just your overall kind of persona. I mean, I like it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It's just one of those things where, I mean, I'm always actually really direct, and I tell people when they ask me what I do on, so my wife will now tell people that, oh, he has a YouTube channel, he's got a few followers, he's doing okay with it, and now I'm like, when people ask me about it, I'm like, what do I do on my channel? I'm like, well, I verbally abuse people for money in debates, and I have I have a show where I do like commentary and satire and things like that. But the debate is a whole different subject. And I knew that Michelle would come out of hiding when you started talking about marijuana.
Yeah. What do I hope that people will take away from Token Choke? And when you think of, okay, so like when I told my parents, that's who I'm going to use as the example, that I was making a movie, and this one was called Token Choke Dispensary. A whole nother thing. My parents, they don't smoke marijuana. And they, so it's not that I'm advocating necessarily just marijuana in the movie, but you really have to see the movie to kind of form your own opinion on it. Even though it's called Token Choke Dispensary, yes, it is about a dispensary, but I mean, they do exist all over the country, not in every single state, but they do exist. So it's a movie about a dispensary, and it's not totally focused on, weed or advocating for weed and smoking marijuana and cannabis or anything like that.
Okay. Neat.
So, but takeaway. I mean, I hope that people take away a good story. I hope that they are entertained, and I hope that they take away a good story and some good points. It is about a DEA agent that kind of goes rogue and basically raids the dispensary. So it's kind of a lot about people in power, maybe taking advantage of power just a little bit in that situation. And then it kind of goes into some other stuff too, like the dispensary owner. His mother is in a senior care center, and she's not doing very well. And so there's that kind of thing. And so there's also a love story going on in the movie. So there's a lot of different things going on in this story. So I hope that people take away from it something that they can really hold with them and just kind of sticks with them, and something great. So I tried to create something that I really felt, and it's this point in time, and I don't want to give too much of the story away, but we do have like a
don't do that. Yeah, go watch the movie, folks. Give her money. It's what you're here for. So it may interest you, but I have never tried drugs, smoked, drank, gambled. None of that.
Wow.
I know, right? It cracks people up all the time. No, I only had two vices, and that was expensive cars and more expensive women. So I never had any money for any of the rest of it.
I think it's a matter of what people want to do and what they choose to do in their own lives. And so you choose to do what you choose to do, others choose, and that's it.
Sure,
So yeah.
exactly. That's right. Yeah, I had
So
no. Once once you start messing around with like really expensive stuff, then there's no money left for women. You got to go make more money to have women. So that's what it is. Uh, we're gonna have a TTS come through. English voice. Read this. You can't hear it though. Money, says the voice of reason. Thank you very much for the $10. You That's how that works out. It's the grift has been a little off tonight. Kissy Cat's not here, I guess. So we'll have to muddle through. Yeah. So what? So you get out of high school, you go to college, you get out of college, you work somewhere in there, you start acting. Acting leads to producing and directing, or how did that kind of work out? How does that happen to someone? Because to be honest with you, I know nothing of the film industry, and I don't think most people do. And it's like this mystery of you got to know somebody, you got to be somebody, or something, something like that. And I'm definitely not Ron Howard, so I'm just really curious. What did that look like? Like what? How did that happen?
yeah, with me, it started with a lot of writing, and I had always been writing since I was younger, like a little kid, and just writing like little stories and stuff. But then when I went to these different facilities, I really started writing just to kind of get like just for fun, I guess. I was
Mhm.
writing. So I'm writing, and then that's what led into, like, even though I had done some theater when I was younger, that's what led into the kind of creative thing. And then when I got out of there, I wrote, well, it was actually a producer that wanted to write a screenplay on my life, which I didn't like at all when it was written. So I decided to write a screenplay on that later on down the line, and write some other screenplays too. So I wrote some scripts, and really all kind of kicked off with writing, and then just kind of creation from there. And how do I create these things? And that was getting on sets and just learning on the sets, and how to get on a set. Really, for me, it just started getting on with just small little extra roles, stuff like that, auditioning, meeting people who were making independent or just like moderately independent films, and just kind of getting in little roles in there. So that's kind of how it worked for me.
Have you and um like there's kind of two things. First, have you ever like won any awards? Have you been to Cannes? Have the whatever the Italian film festival is? I know that there's a French one, an Italian one, and then there's a New York one. Have you won anything at any of these indie film festivals? Are you internationally renowned?
No, I'm not. And no, I have not yet won anything. I have been to some festivals, and my this most recent film is getting more attention than I thought. So this one did get promoted at the Cannes Film Festival, Tokyo, Berlin, and I think somewhere else as well.
Nice, super nice.
Thank you.
How do women avoid? So let me because I've got another question that follows this, but and this is going to seem a little out of left field, but it's just I promise you, there's no real motivation here. How is it that women avoid going into porn when they're getting into the movie industry? Is that like, because it seems like that's when we listen to all of this stuff, it seems like like just a random thing. Is it a random thing that happens, or is it like, I don't know. I mean, I'm certain that you have not participated in such things, and if you have, I don't care. But you have to.
I honestly, I'm just gonna may as well just stop the clip because I don't know. I wouldn't.
You don't know?
I really don't. I really don't know.
It
Like I
seems
really
so
would
weird.
imagine that like a female or even a male, I guess, that wanted to get into the porn industry, they just like probably go and meet with the like because it's in industry. So I mean, there's probably like specific producers for those films. You know.
Do you think is it more mainstream than like someone like me thinks it is?
I really I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know the
All right.
answer.
I mean, it's an unfair question, I guess, because I know that. I mean, I understand you're like a legit person, but then you see people that talk about going, or you read about. I guess I don't actually see anybody, but you read about people who go to Hollywood or wherever to make it, and they end up being, naked all the time or whatever.
Yeah,
It's kind of it's a weird question, but it's kind of a legitimate question, and it kind of
sure.
this kind of what made me think about that is like the my buddy here asked, what do you think the keys to success are? And I was like, well, staying out of the first thing that popped in my mind in regards to Hollywood was don't get into porn. Like,
Yeah.
just
Well, that
don't do
would make sense. That's fair enough. Unless like that's the route that you want to go down or something, because maybe like there are probably, I mean, there are definitely people, I would assume, I don't know them, but that would want to go down that route. But as far as like breaking into the film industry and not having to get into porn to do it, from what I'm understanding, like, okay, so as an attractive female in Hollywood, I don't look at myself as any like super attractive person, but I know I'm like overall, I'm an attractive female. So as an attractive female in Hollywood there, sure, people asked me if I wanted to do movies that involved nudity and that kind of thing. And I just was never really interested in it. I just was not comfortable with doing it. I didn't want to do it.
Sure.
And I was offered, money, pretty decent money to do it. And I just never was interested in doing that. I never did that. So,
and that's kind of what I mean. It's kind of, it was like, you would think as an and I'm going to be honest with you, from my observation from afar, I don't think most porn stars are that good looking. So, even as a not attractive girl, there's probably a lot of pressure to,
that's a good point.
So I just, it's very weird. It's just very weird. So anyway, yeah, that was a weird question. I'm glad that's over.
Okay. It's over. It's over.
Yeah, it's over. We're past that one. I know the chat has been wanting to figure out how to ask me to ask you that. And
Okay.
they just couldn't
I
figure
thought
it
you were
out.
going to say there was something else that you were trying to figure out.
No,
like,
they're trying to figure out how to get me to ask that without being weird, and it was just going to be weird, so I just decided not to make it any weirder.
well, hopefully I answered the question as well as possible. I don't
know that there's a way you can answer that otherwise. I mean, honestly, it's just is what it is,
Yeah.
I find it interesting right now with the TikTok girl phenomenon, which I'm not really sure it's even TikTok anymore, Reels, and they got all these short format things where all of these girls are showing their asses and all of that. And I don't. It's just a very, to me, it just seems such a horrible thing, right? Like, for young women to do, right? But maybe I'm wrong. I may just be the old guy that just doesn't care. I don't know.
Do you want me to comment? I don't know if I have much of a comment on that one.
I don't know how much. So I have a teenage son, so I understand. I've unfortunately had to come to grips with the amount of near corn there is on the on basically every form of social media, and it's just terrible. It's just really bad. So,
Yeah.
you know. And I don't know that there's any comment really to be made. It was an observation more than any. That last bit was just more of an observation on my part than anything else. And I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with the Whatever podcast, but they're kind of infamous for having the OnlyFans models or actresses or whatever they call themselves on there. But they're selling the nudity. So it's really stupid.
I've never seen it, to be honest with
Oh,
you.
really?
I've not seen that.
You're
particular.
probably. I don't know that you should. I don't know that you should.
Yeah, it's probably not like, I don't know if it's worth my time to look into it or whatever.
Yeah,
I've seen
I
some
don't.
stuff.
I don't know about that. Yeah. So independent films. How do you get into the mainstream stuff? Is that like you get I'm sure you have an agent. You come up for, they send out like some kind of listing for types of people for different roles, and you just happen to fit the bill and your agent calls you, or how does that work? I'm really kind of curious.
As an actor, you mean? Like as an actress, if you're trying to get an audition or that kind of thing?
Yeah, I'm just, how do you actually work in movies? And I'm sure that it's not so much in Hollywood anymore, right? Because I know that a lot of stuff is done in like Georgia, for example. Atlanta's like massive right now with movies being made all over the place. Nashville's getting bigger. So
yeah, I mean, like, I'm 100% not trying to plug any sites or anything, but a lot of it really the main casting sites, actually, a lot of the agents go through them too, like Actors Access. So I'll go look for auditions specifically depending on where they are, like Actors Access, or used to when I was doing on that route, LA Casting and that kind of thing, because those are the more legitimate auditions that you can find there. So that's pretty much how I would do it, or just friends who are making films.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Arthur Daya would like to know, have you ever had to deal with pressure to wear something or do something on film that you weren't personally comfortable with?
That's a good question. I have never felt uncomfortable wearing anything, but I did feel pressured on one time on a show. I won't name the show, but it was like a show, like it's a pretty mainstream show, and I was pretty young. I had just gotten going, like in my early 20s, and the wardrobe guy, he was like, he's like, hey, he's like, okay, I just need you to try on a few outfits. So he gives me like these outfits, and they're all like size zeros or whatever, which are fine. And I'm a slim person, but like they were all like super, super like tight, like not a dress, but like a dress suit, like pants and a jacket type thing. And so he's like, well, we're just trying to have you look as good as possible. Well, I have no problem with it as long as it's not like, I'm not like half naked or anything. So I wasn't, but I couldn't fit into this zero outfit. So I gave it to him, and he's like, oh my gosh, we just have like nothing else for you. I literally have nothing else. And I'm like, well, and cause I was just getting going. So I felt bad about it. So I'm thinking, oh, wow. Well, because I'm kind of like, my body's not like just completely straight for like a zero exactly. It's more like, I could go into like 2-3 range or something. And so I'm kind of like looking around his wardrobe. And so I felt really uncomfortable when he kind of threw at me the last outfit they had on the rack. He's like, if this doesn't work, you're not on the set. We can't even use you. And it was like from some main scene. So I went in the trailer and I put it on, and I mean, it was very fitted, but made it work. I felt uncomfortable, but
yeah, that sounds perfectly terrible.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm actually really shocked nobody, I mean, I'm sure somebody has, and I've just missed it because I'm not paying that close attention. But I'm surprised somebody's asked if you've been to a Diddy party or any of the other deviant things that these degenerates want to know. It was asked. Oh, you guys are crazy. What is wrong with you guys?
I've never been to a Diddy party. No.
Ben literally says it was asked. I missed it. I missed the whole thing. So
I've never been to a P Diddy party. No.
yeah. Okay. Good. Good. That's good.
Why? Someone says they have a picture of me at one.
Probably not.
Just kidding. Yeah, no, I've never been.
No, they're just being, they're just being funny now. They're just being funny.
No, it's cool.
So do you find most people, because I'm just trying to understand your background. I mean, I think I understand it pretty well because I'm not dissimilar myself, right? Because I got into trouble when I was younger and I was able to kind of save myself. And it sounds like you got into trouble, and it sounds like you got into quite a bit of trouble, or enough trouble that it prevented you from having a more normal school experience or whatever, and you kind of came back from that, right? You've obviously you seem very successful now, so so when you made that kind of transition back, do you look back on that as motivation, or are you critical of that time, or are you thankful that you went through it? How did that, because I know that when all of the things that, from my past, because unlike you, I grew up dirt poor. I had a stepfather who was not really ready to be. It wasn't that he was a bad father. He just wasn't ready to be a father, and he didn't know how to be one. And so that was perfectly terrible. And so I had, again, I came back from, 'cause men are different than women, obviously. But I came back from that in my own specific way of kind of becoming more competitive and making sure that I was the best at everything I could do, and so on and so forth. How did that experience in your young life, how has that pushed you throughout the rest of your life? Shaped you, if you will?
Well, I think that those experiences can shape a person in a negative and positive way because, yeah, you have a lot of different experiences where you like are in environments that maybe that most other people haven't been in. So like retrospectively looking at it now, some of it may be helpful to me in this career. But at the time, just what I went through, it shaped me as a person, and as a person is for who I am today. Is it a driving force for me? Not necessarily. I don't think that I look at that and think, well, now let me prove that I'm, so different. I'm not trying to prove anything anywhere, just only to myself, just what I am capable of doing, who I am, and what I was before, what my mindset was before, really, as a younger, as a teenager, because my mindset was completely different. And I mean, it's like not giving a fuck now is totally different than not giving a fuck back then, is in terms of how much and I don't mean to say fuck, how much I just didn't give a crap about what was going on, what went on in my life back then. I just wanted to do whatever I wanted to do, and just, I don't know. So, and now it's like, yeah, I have goals in my life. I want to see myself, reach those goals, and I push myself towards those goals and try and be productive every day.
Who's your hero? Like when you think about who you want to be like, is that one person, and it is like your inspiration and hero? Is that another person? How what does it look like for you?
Most people have heroes, I guess. And so maybe I'm going to sound weird answering this one. I don't know if I really have a hero. There are like other directors that I'm really inspired by, like Guy Ritchie, Tarantino, and I've talked about that before. Oliver Stone, one of my favorite directors. And so those people have inspired me. As far as being my heroes, I don't know if I would really say, oh, those are my heroes, but they're like inspiration as directors. It's just really that kind of, when I saw some of those films kind of like younger, I was like, wow, like, whoa, this is, and I never thought to myself, I could make one of these. That wasn't what I was thinking back then. I was just kind of blown away by the content.
So in a shocking display of, this is what I was thinking. I was going to ask you, what do you see as your trajectory going forward? Arthur Dye comes in. Can I ask you, what are some of your upcoming professional goals, and what do you feel like, or what do you see as your trajectory going forward? I mean, what and kind of not best case, worst case, just what do you want to see happen? What does life look for you in 5 years, 10 years? What does that look like?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, for me, I can see life in 5 years having directed bigger budgeted films, because I'm looking now at larger budgeted films, not huge budgets, because this is my opinion now, again, with budgets, and I don't want to get into how I feel about huge budgets that are just way over the top that I don't think make much sense. But directing bigger films and producing bigger films, also maybe getting a chance at acting in some really great roles, that would be phenomenal for me. So a goal is to maybe get a chance to act with some of my favorite actors, and create some great characters on film, create some great entertainment, and kind of I want to create a legacy here for myself here on Earth while I'm here.
Okay. All right. So we all know that like the film industry and Hollywood and all that is kind of like, or it pays homage to feminism in a lot of different forms. Do you ever feel like that because you're a woman, you're not getting the recognition as a director or a producer that a man would in the same space?
I have not. I've thought about it since I've been asked this question a couple of times recently, and it's not something that I think about, no. Even though it's something that may or may not go on. As far as you asked, like, what if I think about it? No,
Yeah.
I don't. I don't
Okay.
think about it, no.
Okay. All right. I mean, that's fair. It's interesting because I have a friend of mine in the San Francisco area, and she's done quite a bit of stunt work. She's a stunt driver, and she's done some stand up and other things. And at one point, she seemed really bitter that she felt like she was losing out on work to men. And I just was really, I didn't know how prevalent that was, because in theory that would be the one place where that shouldn't happen, since they're the ones that Hollywood basically like shoves that down everyone's throat every day. So anyway, don't want to get too far down that one. I kind of lost the chat there. Give me 1 second to kind of make sense of this.
Take your time.
You're really a good guest, by the way. I have to say that you're
Thank you.
really a good guest. Let me. All right. Well, I'm just going to go with are you wanting to like do more when you say medium budget? I'll give you my perspective, and then you tell me how messed up I am and how wrong I am. My perspective is that, and I'm going to go at this from the same viewpoint I did when I was racing. Other teams would have 10 or 20 people per car. I ran with 2 people per car. to crew the cars, right? To make sure that they were good to go, ready to race. And that's all we needed anymore. And yeah, there was a more, when it was all hands on deck, there were more people there to help out. But the reality was they didn't add anything but cost most of the time. And a lot of complexity is who does why are they doing it, and that sort of thing. And I imagine, or I can imagine, that when we're talking about a feature film, having these massive budgets that lead to grander, more elaborate special effects rather than good camera quality, good shooting technique, and all of basically the idea of fix everything in post sort of mentality, and the idea that CG is going to be able to fix things that you miss or whatever. Do you see that the bigger the budget, the more likely that mentality starts to seep in, or is it and you lose kind of the art? Because I always used to say one of my favorite expressions is that you have to suffer for your art, regardless of what that art is, whether it's racing or doing film or being a podcaster or whatever. At some point, you're going to have to suffer for your art, and maybe being able to produce a quality project, a big budget style project on a smaller budget, is really the way that you're suffering for your art and proving yourself out and maybe getting a better product. Now, that's my perception, and I didn't want to, and I wanted to put that out there so that I couldn't be seen as just being very super agreeable with you if you say kind of the similar thing. So I'm really interested to get your point of view on this.
Okay. And when I say bigger budget, I mean like an example being like a really ballooned budget, maybe for something that it's just my opinion, because since I haven't worked in that capacity, this is just an opinion coming from an independent filmmaker. So it like a balloon budget of maybe $100 million for something that, maybe I think could have been produced for half that budget or something like that, but really, it just kind of comes down to what's needed. As far as me thinking, no, a bigger budget now, it puts us in the mentality where, oh, we can just fix it all in post. We have this huge budget. We can just who cares about that? We have so much money. We can just do whatever we want in post anyway. I don't know. No. Like, I don't agree with that. I don't think that that's.
Do you think it happens though? I guess is my point is like, you sound like you're very much conscientious, and you want to put out a good product, and you want to put out a better product than what should be possible on the budget that you're given, so that you can constantly prove to yourself that you're really as good as you think you are. But do you think that as the budget grows, that tends to slip away no matter who you are, and it just becomes, we've got to get this shot, we're on a schedule, it's got to happen today. If we don't do it today, then we have to wait a week or whatever, and so we'll just shoot it and we'll fix it in post, and just we'll just drop this scene altogether. We don't need it. We haven't, we'll just shoot something. We'll just have the writer come up with something else. And because they have enough money, they have enough budget to do it, is my perception. I don't know that that's reality. Don't take what I'm saying as reality. I'm just thinking that if I had, and if I knew that I had this massive budget, like let's just say that I was working with $60 million budget versus working with $1 million budget, right? Like that's a world of difference. But the quality of product, in my mind, having, and again, I know nothing about the film industry, but in my mind, I don't understand why you couldn't get an equal film with the $1 million budget that you get with $60 million. This is my point.
Sure. A lot of times it's just about attaching different, talent, actors and stuff like that to the film, and just the locations and different things like that. That's where a lot of the budget goes, really.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, I don't think with the question though. I mean, I don't think that all people necessarily think that way. I don't think that way with the bigger budget. I wouldn't want to raise a larger budget just to give myself more. But then it's being it's like fast on your feet type decision making too. Sometimes if you have to get that scene shot that then, or if you're able to, based on the schedule, shoot it at a different time, and that's based on everyone's schedule. So it comes down to a lot of different kind of factors go into it, really.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Okay. I mean, it's just that, again, I don't know anything. So you have to, like I'm just a child flailing about, throwing stuff out to see what sticks. So don't take offense.
Oh no, I'm not.
Again, I know nothing about movies. Other than I watched them. I worked in a movie theater. I've seen a lot of movies. I ran. Back when I was in college. That was my college job. I ran movie theaters for Carmike Cinemas.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. I was their Swiss Army knife. So what they would do is, because I was a college kid, I had endless energy, and I really didn't give. I have zero fucks to give. If they had problems with a manager, which you always have problems with a manager when you're paying them nothing, they would fire. They would bring me in, and they would fire the guy or girl and put me in place as the interim manager, and then I would fix all of the problems with the theater and get the per cap up and get all of make everything work, and then they would and I would train a manager, and then that they would by that time they're ready to fire somebody else, and I would go to another theater.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they paid me a lot to do that too. I was the highest paid manager in the area. That was the city manager. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to know that, but I figured it out. So
I've got my laptop out here on the patio, and we're getting ready to have a big storm. It looks like now. I just see everything. Once in a while, this happens in Arizona. I guess they call it monsoon season, but I just saw it looks like a tree is about to go down nearby here.
wow.
So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I may be getting off this pretty soon.
Okay. Well, if you drop off, if you do drop off, know that you're always welcome back. I say that for
Thank
all
you.
of us I enjoy having on, and you're welcome to just come up and just kind of BS around too. It doesn't have to be like kind of this kind of dynamic we got going on right now. So
yeah, and I really appreciate you having me on too. And it was a good talk earlier, even though I know you were driving. There's a lot going on, everything like that. But we had like kind of a cool little talk there. I mean, it wasn't little. It actually went on for quite a while. And I was up in the morning, had to take meetings, and then I kind of have to. I get crash out pretty early because I even take meetings sometimes over the weekend. So I'm going to be doing that tomorrow too. But yeah, it's work. So I like to do it. So I'm all good with it. But I'll definitely, think about coming out. Talking to you again. I'm doing a couple of other podcasts. It looks like people are kind of inviting me to a couple of them. So check them out more now, kind of getting more involved with the podcast, and I don't mind it. So that's cool.
Yeah. I'm obviously I'm a smaller podcast. Just trying to grow. Just trying.
Yeah, right on. And I'm just a smaller producer, just same thing, trying to grow, getting my my first big movie. Well, for me it's big. It's a small big movie off the ground and coming out with Token Choke Dispensary. So I'm really excited about it.
The one that I doubt it was because now I don't remember the title. Glenn sent me a movie proposal. Budget proposal to see if I wanted to invest in it, and unfortunately, right now we're investing in so many other things that movies is not one of the ones that we're ready to put in money for.
Yeah, I know he's working on actually quite a few projects, and I was talking to him about a film he's looking to produce that's pretty interesting. We were talking about at that Grammy Awards party back. Whenever it was, like a few months ago, whatever. So Glenn is awesome.
I like Glenn a lot. Glenn's, Glenn and I have become, pretty good friends. As a matter of fact, when if he goes missing for any length of time, I start getting concerned. I'm like, what's going on with Glenn? Because he'll, last time, so he disappeared for like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, he'll be like MIA, right?
Well, he disappeared, and he'd had an embolism in his leg, and I was at the dentist, and I get this phone call from him, so I answer it because I'm just rude like that. I just randomly answer my phone because why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
And and he's like, "Yeah, I'm in the hospital." He sounded like he sounded literally like he was just on, just like barely there. And like, I'm like, dude, do I need to like fly out somewhere and like help you out? And so that kind of, it turned out that he had a embolism in his leg, and so that was bad. And then so I've gotten to know Glenn pretty well, and I really appreciate the fact that he's taking care of Thor and Thor's affairs during this time, because I have watched over the years numerous people basically lose everything because they had nobody there to care for them in their
Mhm.
in their moment of really needing someone to care for them. So
Right.
I'm Glenn's one of those guys that I'm one of those he's one of those guys that I don't know him, never met him, but if you ask me for a favor, it would be hard for me to say no. So
Yeah. Yeah, he's an awesome guy. I cannot believe the storm that is going on out here. This is crazy. I can't believe this is going sudden. It's really sudden. It was out of nowhere. This is weird.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So I don't know. Let's see here. Let me just get you have to kind of like tie some stuff down. It's like some torn, like it starts blowing stuff all over the place out here.
Well, yeah,
Okay,
try not to lose everything off of your back porch.
yeah, I'm like tying things down right now. But yeah, so all right, but let's talk again, Grid, at some other time.
It's easy to find me. I'm exceedingly easy to find, to be honest with you. And of
Okay.
course, Glenn always knows where to find me. So you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
You come in just as Kissy Cat, or you're leaving just as Kissy Cat comes on. Kissy Cat, you've missed an exceedingly good show. Sorry you missed it. But
And I appreciate you having me on, and we'll definitely talk again too.
Sure, absolutely.
All right.
All right. Well, have a great rest of your night, and make sure you save all the items on your back porch there, so it doesn't blow away in the monsoon.
I want to make sure everything doesn't get blown away on out here.
All
Tack it on down.
Yep. Have a great night, Dina. We'll see you, or I'll talk to you real soon.
Thank you, Grid. You too. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Dina, our guest for tonight. You should be sorry you missed it, Kissy Cat. But we still have an hour of show left. The recap is she had a misspent youth. She was a juvenile delinquent. She got apparently got into some trouble. She got out of school. She went to college. She got a degree in business. She did a bunch of cool stuff, and she's been in a bunch of movies, and she's a producer and director of films. So that worked out pretty good for her, and she was actually a really good guest. We have about an hour left, so if anyone wants to come up, we can get them the link. I did not put the link in the mod chat tonight because I didn't know how long Dina was going to stay. So let me do that now. And we can talk about the massively stupid debate that I had earlier, where I'm not going to say that I beat them up, because they did land some good. They landed some good punches here and there, but the reality is that Namfan's arguments for his economic position is it's first year econ out of a textbook. Obviously, look, if a textbook could fix the economy, it'd already be fucking fixed. So stop reading me the goddamn textbook. Link is up, or link is in the mod chat. I'm not really like, You're most people are welcome to come up. So yeah, it's good times. Steelman, yeah, I don't know what she looks like, but I'm assuming that she's probably okay looking. She's been in movies, so there you go. And I think that in this case, it probably didn't do her any real good to if she did cam up because I would really wanted to just have the really good conversation. Clover Tack, just go over to the Discord, go over to my Discord, go to the waiting room and yell at the mods that you want a link and they will send you the link. I literally just did this, Clover Tack. I'm actually going to send it to you because since you're in the waiting room. Yeah, no, I just did the waiting room just a few weeks ago. You've been missing for a while. So listen, everyone, now that you're all here, in the debate earlier tonight, I made a comment. I didn't realize I made it, but I did. I made a comment about how I didn't know, or something like I didn't know I was having to teach debate class, or it's like I'm having to teach a class in debate. It was something like that. It's early on in the debate. Clip that, make it the best clip you can, add in music, do whatever. The best version of that clip I will pay cash money for because that shit's gonna go viral because it was fucking hilarious. I didn't actually realize I did it at the time. Somebody DM'd me that was fucking hilarious and the funniest thing they've seen in a while, and I'm like, holy shit, maybe it was. So get that back to me as and so I can put that shit out there and let it go viral. So Kissy Cat's having pizza rolls. What are you, a teenager? Thought you were a real adult. Ticky Tack is live. Clover Tack is live. We got a lot of tack up in here tonight. What is new, Clover Tack? How the hell are you?
That's what I was gonna ask. How you been, bro?
I've been busy. I shot a lot this past week, man. I'm shooting a match Sunday.
Yeah,
I'm gonna shoot a 3-gun match. I'm gonna shoot 2-gun instead of 3-gun. But I was out shooting this week. I have like 4 guns that I haven't even shot yet. So I only did I took 2 of those and I shot those because I hadn't shot them at all.
Mm-hmm.
The Masada.
Oh yeah.
And I got one of the new Ruger Magpul Glock things.
Yeah.
MPX, RPX, whatever the fuck it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I got one of those. It actually shoots okay, but it's too much like a Glock 19. It's got all of the bad qualities of a G19 with not enough of the good ones.
Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. You nailed it on that one, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about the Masada though? That's what I'm curious about because I like the Masada.
I love the Masada. I thought the Masada I thought it was great. The only if I have to quibble, which it will, I have to quibble a little bit. The grip is just slick.
Yeah, that's a common thing with a lot of, especially a lot of ones that EDC and carry kind of right is kind of their lane. They're not aggressive enough in the grip.
Yeah. The grip is not aggressive enough, and it really needs I'm probably going to carbide the grip if I keep it any length of time. If I don't sell it off, it's going to get carbided because I can't deal with the.
It's easy to stipple.
You
can pick up the stuff to stipple now for.
I've got all the stuff to
less than $50, man.
Yeah, I got it all already. I don't need. Yeah, I mean, I've got all the stuff to do the carbide too. I love carbide. That was like the best thing I ever did to my SIG grip.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So I've got. I don't know. It's just a lot of shooting stuff. I got new glasses from Hunter's HD. I got a set of the blues, the active blue, and I got a set of and I had to make a set of lenses for my Oakleys.
Yeah.
In the ruby.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm balling out. And my my son, I got him a set of I got him a set of the rubies in the aviator style.
Yeah.
And because that's what he likes.
Yeah.
And I really can't believe how much it helped his game. So I knew that he was hurting his game was hurting because I noticed that when it was overcast and the birds were low, he was missing, especially if it was kind of in a cloudy area.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him one day, I'm like, "Can you actually see the clay? Can you see that clay flying?" And he's like, "Not really."
Yeah, and, you kind of get the movement. Is what you're catching,
right?
Picking up on movement more than the
Right. Yeah. So he didn't think it was going to be a big a difference, but I got him the rubies. Yeah. In like the second time he wore them, he shot a 24 out of 25.
Yeah,
which is fucking impressive, honestly. And so he's that was a big thing, and I like the way that Hunters understands the sight lines, and they move the prescription up so that when you're on the gun, instead of trying to pull your glasses up to where you're in the right focal area, they move the focal area up.
Yep.
So,
well, that's what they've done since the 70s, right? Is to optometry, whatever stuff. So I mean, they know all of that.
But people forget about that stuff all the time. And I actually had a discussion with somebody about PILA. Who was like, well, the PILAs are the best. And I'm like, I don't know that they're the best. You can't point to anything that PILA does better than anybody else.
For twice the price of Hunter's HD Gold stuff.
$1,000 for a set of fucking glasses.
Yeah. I don't think they're twice as good.
Yeah, they're definitely not twice. I don't know that I think they're equal. I'll go equal. Right?
Yeah, I would agree. They're so, yeah.
But I tell you what,
I don't know what the service is like. That's the only thing. Like I'm not sure what the service is like. And I can guarantee you, Brian will take care of you.
I think if you spend, let me tell you, I've been waiting for you to come on. So, Chris, actually, not Brian. Chris, I call him up. I'm like, hey, I bought a couple pairs of glasses from you a couple of years ago. And he's like, yep, got you right here. I'm like, okay, cool. The one pair, the Wiley X's, my son knocked them out of my truck. They ended up being they got run over, basically. The lenses were fine, but the earpiece was broken on the Valors, right? The Wiley X Valors.
Yeah.
He's like, no problem. And then he calls me back like 20 minutes later. He's like, hey, minor problem. I don't have any Valor frames, but I'll make you a new set of lenses for a set of frames we do have. Just pick the frames.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So I'm like, well, so I picked the Rage. Right. And and he's like, yeah, okay, cool. No problem. Then he calls me back. He says, hey, while I was getting these Rages out, I found a set of Valor frames, but they're OD green. Do you care? And I'm like, no, fuck no. Just send them out. So he, for free, sent me a brand new set of frames.
Fuck yeah.
And and he knocked money off of each, because I ordered a set for my son, a set of active blues for myself, and a set of and a set of lenses for my Oakleys, and I'm ordering my son a set of the golds in the next probably month or so. So he knocked quite a bit of money off of each pair. So again, and he told me, he's like, hey, if you scratch them, if your prescription changes, whatever, just give us a call. We'll take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's baller. Like, that's baller. So P-Law, for my son to use P-Law, he would have had to have, first of all, he has to buy a set of frames, and those are like $250. Then he has to buy a lens, which is another $250. And then he has to buy an insert, prescription insert, which is, I have no idea how much that would be. But you understand the problem with the inserts is that you get lines in the glasses. So you're never going to be as good at shooting clays as you're going to be if you have an actual proper set of glasses.
Yep.
And so I'm beyond fucking ecstatic, and I pimp them out all the time. And I'm actually pissing the shotgun guys off because I keep literally saying that I don't really care about Pila at all. Like, I don't think they're the best. I think that they have a reputation for sure, and I think they're good glasses for what they are. Absolutely, I'm not taking anything away from them, but they're not the best, and they're not the best for people who want to see things.
Mm-hmm.
DD Dan, you missed out on the film. You're gonna have to watch this one on the VOD. I had an actual actress, producer, director on the channel, and it was awesome. She did very well. I've been streaming since basically 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, I started beating up on leftists, calling them insane, incompetent, all kinds of really interesting things. Tiki Tack is totally cool, bro. It's totally cool. You heard me this afternoon? Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate that. So yeah.
I may need a place to crash.
Yeah.
In like late June.
Okay.
I know you said you have a place somewhere.
Well, right now, dude. When are you wanting to crash?
I don't know.
Well, I need to know.
Like June, sometime in June, late June 25th, probably.
Yeah, okay. Let me see.
24th, 25th.
Check
I don't know.
Calendar, because I've been renting. I mean, dude, my rental house is, or the lake house is literally every weekend.
Oh, this ain't on the weekend, but
and a lot of times through the week.
But
so
this is also June, that's also June, which is summertime. So
I have June 15th through the 20th already booked.
Yeah, it won't be. It'll be way later than that.
Like the 22nd through
24th, 25th, somewhere in that range.
24th, 25th, 26th are open as of right now. 27th, 20. What is it? What is her reservation? What is this reservation? Oh, that's 27th to the 28th, which is one night, is not in fact booked. So anyway, but yeah, let me know, man.
Either way,
yeah, let me know, man. I'll hook.
I know you've offered before, and it's not.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I can't
absolutely.
Get a room somewhere if I need to, and all fucking.
Are you going to be in which area? Are you going to be in the Nashville area?
I am coming through that direction, going to Ohio for GunCon.
I got you.
So we'll stay over probably in the Nashville-ish area, there somewhere, and then get up and finish the next.
You coming over on 40? Are you coming over 10?
Probably. Is that 40 coming out of Memphis and that direction through Arkansas and then Memphis 40, and over? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So 40, I mean, from my rental house to 40 is basically like an hour and a half the wrong direction.
Oh, okay.
So, but I may have somewhere for you. I'll look into it.
So,
but
we can adjust if we need to adjust. But
yeah, GunCon. It sounds like something I should go to.
It's gonna be nice, man. GunCon is one of the, for creators anyway, one of the better events for sure. It's a little more intimate and a little more creator focused. You know.
Kissy Cat, you're waiting for me to add. Are you waiting for me to add you? Because I don't see you. You're not. You don't have the right link.
Yeah, Smoking Spaceman dropped a link. I don't know if it was the right link, but
Yeah, let me make sure he's got the right one. Where's my?
by the way, I've got to apologize for something. So I hopped over there. Well, I hopped over there in that waiting room, and I noticed that I have been doing the self promotion in the fucking waiting room. So
I noticed that too, and I've yelled at everybody
apologies.
about it.
My apologies for that. I
That's
don't
all
know
right.
how that got. Usually when I switch to the servers, it's automatically on self promotion, and for whatever reason, yours got bumped to waiting room, and I
That's
just
because I added the waiting room, and it probably
maybe
yeah,
maybe.
that's probably what happened.
But it's my fault for not paying attention. That's why I said my apologies for everybody on the server over there.
I have this one guy who I think gets high and just posts his stream everywhere.
I do. I get that on my server. Yeah.
He posts in every single every room on my server, and I'm like, and I will literally like I go through and just delete them. I'm at the point now. Hey, Kissy Tack is aboard. I will go through and delete every single posting except the one in the right room.
I don't even bother anymore because people post in the wrong place all the fucking time on my server. Like it's like I don't even keep up. I don't.
I'm a
care.
jerk though. I'm a jerk.
Yeah.
You're a nice guy. I'm less.
No, I'm just fucking lazy. I don't want to delete and worry about it.
Need mods.
I've got 2 mods, but they don't only do stuff when I direct them to do stuff.
Yeah.
They don't really do much else, and that's fine. But they basically set up the channels, and because I am a Discord dummy, so I've never cared for Discord. I don't like Discord until I started playing around and over here in this space and stuff with you guys. I always had it, but I never did even fuck with it, you know. And a lot of the folks on this side of things, I think that's the majority of what's in my Discord. It's not even the GunTuber folks. It's like pulling teeth to get those fuckers over there.
Yeah.
I even offer giveaways and shit to get them over there, and they won't come over there.
Really?
Yeah.
I like free stuff.
I don't know.
I mean, I would have shown up. If you're giving me free stuff, I'd have shown up for sure.
Well, you got a shot at some free stuff.
Kissy Cat, how are you?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I am okay. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good. Happy
You
birthday
sound
again.
exceedingly southern, as I expected.
Yeah. Appalachian, right?
Right. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Everybody's turning their volume up right now, because you were a little bit quiet. But hopefully I fixed that. So, well, thank you for coming on, Kissy Cat. How are you? Yep. Did we lose? Did we lose you?
Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are. There we go. That's better.
All right. Sorry about that. I said I'm good. I'm actually at work right now.
Oh, okay. Are you now? You work as some kind of pharmacist or something?
Yeah, I'm a clinical pharmacist at a hospital, so it's pretty chill most of the time until it's not.
Sure. Yeah. Because everything is an emergency.
Yeah.
We got
everything.
Anson has shown up to Simp. Welcome, Simp. I mean, Anson.
Can y'all hear me?
Anson?
I can now.
Yeah.
Okay, Anson's.
I'm going to drop out and try and figure out my audio situation.
Okay. People are having technical difficulties tonight.
Apparently.
I can't believe this is working for me because I'm just on my phone with my gaming headset.
Well, that's all you need. I stream all the time, driving down the road in my truck. I don't stream. I call in on people's shows.
Just got to have gear. Just got to have gear that works. The biggest thing is having decent internet. I think that's the biggest
that
thing.
is. That is.
Okay,
I sent you
props
the
to the
link
hospital.
to my house, CloverTac.
You did what? And huh? And what?
I sent you the link to the lake house.
Oh, okay.
Which lake are you on, Grid?
I have I'm the closest lake to me is Percy Priest Lake.
Mhm.
And that's 20 minutes from my driveway to the ramp. I can be in the water in like 25, 30 minutes tops.
All
But
right.
the lake house is on Tim's Ford Lake. And I say
Okay.
we're on a peninsula, so we're in the center of the peninsula. And like both of my neighbors have lake. I do not. I'm in the middle.
Oh, all right.
So I have access to a dock or a ramp. But they have the docks, which we looked at it. We just so if we had bought the year before, it would have been cool. When we were looking at buying, like it was almost a $500,000 to $600,000 jump in price.
Were you buying during COVID?
No, we bought that one in 23. No, 22, I think 21, 22.
Oh, all right.
So post COVID, but they were literally, and I'm sure it's because of COVID, they were literally billboards up and down 24 advertising Tim's Ford Lake as a party lake that you wanted to be on.
Oh. See, the lake I'm on, it's not a party lake. You go out there and there's nobody out there. You could actually enjoy your fishing, and it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
I'm currently building a house on Cherokee Lake.
Okay. I kind of know where that. Kevin actually lives very near Cherokee Lake.
All right.
I don't
I
know
love
if
it
the little
there.
minion guy is still listening, but he lives near. He says he's never been there. He lives I think he lives basically right down the street, and I don't think he's ever been there. So
Oh, it's so nice. I love it, and it's really chill. It's nice. I'm building a little log home. It's gonna be cute if it ever gets finished.
Okay. All right. Now, are you building it, or are you having it built by
Oh,
any workmen?
I'm not physically building it.
I have to clarify because I know women that do that.
Yeah, no,
No. Okay.
I wouldn't trust living in it if I built it.
Honesty is the best policy. Okay then. So how did you end up being exposed to whatever? This has to be a great story.
Actually, I just watch a lot of YouTube while I'm at work, and it came like some of the clips came through on my front page, and I just started watching those clips, and then I started watching the show.
Okay. So were you in the era where I was super chatting all the time and all that?
I did see you come up quite a bit. Now, I actually didn't really start watching full shows until the election night show. That was the first like full show I had ever watched.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, there's it's very interesting that in a lot of the clips there's my super chats in the clips. That's very funny.
I had seen you on those.
It's very funny. Okay. All right. That's cool. You've been a pretty good supporter of the show.
Mhm.
What do you like about the show? I really, this is very interesting to me. This is good.
Well, I don't really know, to be honest. Like, I like a lot of the thoughts and the themes behind it. I do consider myself to be a little more traditional, so it's like interesting for me to see the women that come on that are like total opposite of me. So
Mm.
I guess the contrast is
Mm-hmm.
interesting to see
Mm-hmm. Okay.
because the
I was
women I'm
actually thinking about
exposed to
my show, not the
Oh,
whatever.
I thought you meant. Oh, okay. I think y'all are fun.
We're fun. We're fun
Yeah.
people, Clover Tack.
Yeah, I think y'all are fun.
I don't think anybody's ever called Clover Tack fun. So that's gonna be a new one.
Nope.
She was talking about me, Grid. I'm the fun
You
one
are
up here.
not the fun
I'm
one.
the fun one.
You are not the
She
fun
talking
one.
about me.
She is not talking about you.
A fun batch.
But he is the single one.
No, Kissy Cat's married. What are you talking about, Grid?
Are you married,
I,
really?
no, I'm not married, but I am in a relationship.
Good.
Yeah.
Hanson's dreaming. That's
I ain't dreaming about that. I'm not interested in women anymore. I'm MGTOW now.
yeah, whatever.
I took the black pill.
Lies, lies, and more lies.
That's what I'm gonna say from now on, so I don't have to talk about my personal life no more.
Well, that's okay. We'll talk about your personal life for you.
It's really awesome that you came up on panel, Kissy Cat. I've been watching you in the chat. You do awesome based shit posting, and your game is top notch. I'm a fan. So
He's a
Well,
fan.
thanks. I've been promising Grid for a while I'd come up. I'm
That's
actually
true. That's
really
true.
shy, so this is very out of my element, to be honest.
We get it. But if you're going to come up on a podcast, it needs to be one like mine, where I will protect you from people like Anson.
Oh yeah, I there's no way I could ever go on like, for example, like whatever or anything like that. Heck no, I could not do that.
Yeah, that's very funny. It's also very true. I absolutely understand what you're talking about. So cool. Yeah, awesome. I'm glad you came up. It's been a great day. It has been
good.
honestly, it's been a really good day. It's been a really good day. In the morning, I got to talk to Glenn and hang out on that panel, and Casper was actually not spurging like super hard, which was cool. It was very cool. And then then I had some work to do in the afternoon, which I enjoy working, so that was cool. But then I had that awesome debate, which you missed, Kissy Cat. It's unfortunate.
I was sleeping.
You were sleeping. Well, that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's got to do that once in a while. And so I had this awesome debate. Anson, I got to get you. So you watched most of the debate, right?
So let me tell you, Grid. Now I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I watched Scott demolish Made by Jim Bob instead.
I don't think that is what happened.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened.
I think they both kind of had strong portions.
No, Jim Bob whined like a petulant child the entire time, and Scott maintained his composure and wouldn't let him gish gallop and do all of the
tracking when I was there. Yeah, I was like,
yeah, no, he demolished him. But no, I didn't watch yours because that one.
So Eric R. Oak says the opposite. He says Made by Jim Bob demolished in that debate.
Yeah, I'll be reviewing that on my channel. That's going to be like a 5-episode series where I go minute by minute of all of the fallacies that Jim Bob uses. So,
well, so non-fawn, and by the way, I really like non-fawn. This is not like I'm not trying to like crap on the dude at all. But non-fawn can only talk about what he's read in his textbook. And kind of what the leftist talking points are when it comes to the different people. And it's very interesting to me because if you just, like he'll say, well, there's, the curve, and as we become more modernized, then labor, manufacturing goes away. And so when you pull that rug out from under him and go, okay, do you know why the decline of manufacturing happened in Germany, if that's the example you want to use? No, he doesn't know fucking why. He has no fucking clue. He'll just be like, oh, this principle. No, the principle didn't do anything. And I forgot to use it tonight, Anson. But I did a disservice because I did not remind him that if textbooks were right, the economy would be perfect because everybody's read the same fucking textbook.
Yeah, that using that kind of logic and reasoning is just an appeal to authority. It's just a more broad one the way he does it. And non-Fawn, and I've said this before, non-Fawn has the ability to question himself. And I think that if he's pushed hard enough, he'll start to question his worldview. And these debates are probably going to be good for him.
I think that the minute he gets a job that pays him any money at all, he will quit being a leftist. He's already on the verge of not being a leftist. Like, I got to be, like let's just, let me be real here. He's almost not a leftist already because he's already like, I'm a capitalist. I like money. I like, and he's like, so this is actually, Anson, this is because now I've got, and I'm going to have to stop after this because I got to bring in the Tack twins here. But it's like he wants to argue, he wants to hold Keynesian standpoints, but argue Austrian points. I'm like, how the fuck does this work? Like, those cannot exist in the same space.
Yeah, well, he's basically just grasping at straws. I mean, there's the Keynesian model doesn't work on a micro level. So if you're arguing like broad models and basic assumptions that are made to legitimize what those models are going to produce, they don't really necessarily have to track to reality. But when you start looking at the micro level about what people are actually doing and how people are acting, all Keynesianism falls apart. And you have to revert to microeconomics, which is based on Austrian economics because it was invented by the Austrian economists. So and there's a dichotomy. There's really two different economics, right? There's the large, entire countrywide economics where people develop these, complex models and try to model it after empiricism, like physics. And it just doesn't work because people aren't machines, right? We're all individuals in charge of our own decision making. And non-Fawn will figure that stuff out. He's a smart kid.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to figure it out, to be honest with you. But I want him to. I want him to be better, right? And he's just not. He's just not there yet. And the funny thing is I know he's talking shit about me in his chat, but when I ask him if he's an idiot, I actually mean, is he being idiotic? I'm not just attacking his character, which I should be, but I'm not. All right, so the Tack twins, we've got Kissy Tack and Clover Tack. That's a lot of tack. We got some tackiness going on here.
And then Anson's in here. He's the king of tacky.
Yeah, Anson is the, I'm waiting for Anson to rage quit. That's why.
You know what it would take?
I'll get him there.
You know what it would take for me to rage quit? Like
Arthur Daya. Arthur Daya. Literally, Arthur Daya could just like question your moral authority and you would rage quit.
No, that wouldn't happen. The only time I've stumbled during a debate, you saw it the other night. You got to be a woman talking to me about emotions.
That was funny. It was so amazing. Answer's just like, wait, what? Huh? What?
That's true. That's true.
Where am I? He did not know. $2 comes in from the Raging Patriot 1776. Either shit talk or shut the fuck up already. I don't know who we're talking about, but somebody do something.
Shit talk. Kissy Cat, you're a wuss for not camming up. I don't know what your deal is. I don't know why you're hiding.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm the only one on camera up here.
Kissy Cat's hiding behind that fake AI avatar.
Obviously the most attractive person on this panel right now.
It doesn't do any woman. No, it doesn't do any woman any good to cam up on stuff like this. Not happening, Captain.
She's probably a whale. She's afraid of the
At least you
harpooners in the
recognize
chat.
that I am the captain.
Yeah, yeah. That's what it is, Anson.
Ah, man. So yeah, so it's going to be an interesting weekend. Tomorrow night, we have the debate championship sort of thing. Debate, blood sport, winner take all, last man standing. It's gonna be cool. Anson won last week, and then the little, the little goofball. That's the best thing I can say. Just tell him, don't send me the money. I was like, dude, it's already sent. Sorry, pal. Yeah. So hopefully you had a steak dinner on that, Anson.
Yeah, I don't even know where it went. I got to figure that out.
PayPal.
Yeah.
Is there a buy-in for the debate?
No, we talked about that though. I wanted there to be a buy-in, but and maybe we're going to get to that. If we did a buy-in though, we'd probably have to do a double elimination just so people kind of got their money's worth, and then it would get really long. It's better if we have the chat paying for the debates they want to see. That's a better format, but certainly a buy-in would be cool. And honestly, it's been bandied about, not for the first time, that people might take it a little bit more seriously if they had to, if they had some skin in the game, if they actually put a few bucks down.
For sure.
So $2 comes in from Raging Patriot 1776. I want blood up to my ankles and heads to roll. Me too. That's the purpose of tomorrow night. We are going to be pure blood sport. Last week was awesome. It was everything I wanted it to be. The debates were great, but nobody really talked over each other. Nobody was, there was some yelling back and forth, sure, but it wasn't mass chaos. I thought it was great. It was everything I wanted. It was like an adult program.
Yeah, the only one issue I saw is that everyone kind of agreed with each other on most topics, so it was hard to find opposing views for people to debate.
Yeah, I've been teasing leftists all week to get them to come in. I've been putting and we're the thing is that I don't think the leftists want to be brought in and put to the question.
For sure.
So we gotta bait them in. We got cookies. Kissy Cat will cam up. Anson's like, I'm here. Oh man, that's funny. Arthur Daya is not in her feelies, Anson. Stop flirting with Arthur Daya.
I'm not. I'm telling
Kissy
her
Cat at the same time. That's bad. That's bad form.
I'm telling the ladies that I'm MGTOW now. I'm off the market. Sorry,
yeah,
lady.
Whatever.
You missed your chance.
You and Casper playing for the same team now?
Yeah, me and Casper are buddies. We were having fun today. I got on the panel with him some too, and in the chat with him. We were having a good time together.
Yeah,
he's my buddy. He's my Serbian buddy living in New Zealand.
Yeah,
New Zealand's beautiful.
He's got his own thing going on for sure. It's weird because I don't think he's actually MGTOW.
Yeah, I mean, from talking to him, he's basically a highly intelligent guy who's just really ugly
inside.
Well, I think he's just ugly.
You think he's ugly?
Yeah, I think he's hideous.
Why do you think that?
Well, I don't know. He just
gives off the ugly vibe.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
is that like the ick? Is
that
the male version of the ick?
Well, it's kind of like how I know that Kissy Cat's really like 250 pounds. It's just a feeling.
I bet I will hold on. Don't answer, Kissy Cat. I bet Kissy Cat weighs 115 pounds.
Yeah, you think so?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A little more than that. I'm kind of tall.
How much? What do you weigh?
I'm not discussing this. No.
You're gonna have to cam up and stand on a scale for this to be valid, Kissy Cat.
No, I'm just curious. I'm just curious. So I have dated many Southern women, and I'm like,
you can hear the fat content and the vibration of the voice.
I can. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm like, I kind of, I'm getting like thin vibes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. one of the first girl I ever thought I would marry was from Mississippi. Kind of a similar voice, a little bit different, and way thicker Southern accent. Literally was I mean, she was like 5'9", probably. Like she was almost as tall as I was, and weighed 115 pounds, like just about dead on. It's like it was crazy. It's just nuts. And so yeah, just that's I just I can hear it. What it is. Kissy Cat sounds Georgian. No, it's like Western, or pardon me, yeah, Eastern Tennessee, North Carolina ish.
I'm from West Virginia. I live in West Virginia.
You live in West Virginia?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds about right.
Appalachia. You heard her.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but Appalachian can be many things.
Yeah, not with her specific dialect.
I know. I was listening.
It spans a lot of states. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. How much do you mofos weigh? I currently weigh today 230.
That's pretty cool, Grid.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Grid's been in the gym.
I have. Well, and I actually weighed slightly less, but I'm gaining muscle back. So I'm balancing out. So Arthur Dias, since you asked.
Don't ask a lady.
Whatever.
Arthur Dias is skinny.
Why do people say that? Like, that's the dumbest thing. Don't ask a lady that. Why?
So, Kissy Cat, what we all want to know is, what is your body count?
I got no idea on that. I'm not touching that.
It's very, very low.
Very, very low. Uh-huh. Okay.
So tell us about your hoe phase in college, Kissy Cat.
I actually didn't have one, but my roommates were very slutty.
Very slutty.
Yeah, I went to a private, like, Christian college for undergrad, and
Austin P.
Those girls were sluts.
Belmont.
Was it an all girls school? Were you gay for this day?
Trevecca.
No, it wasn't all girls. No.
Trevecca.
No, it was just like it was in West Virginia.
Yeah. Flow State, what's up? Of course, the minute you start talking about body count and sex stuff, Flow shows up.
Yeah, that's predictable.
I'm shocked Lindsay's not right behind him. Isn't Lindsay like tied to his belt or something?
No, it'd be right in front of him, not behind him, Grid.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever.
Lindsay's
I'm curious. So, and just kind of getting back into the reality thing here. I need some leftists. I'm trying to goad Proncess into coming on, because he's a lefty, and I think he's got some lefty friends. Flow State, I think, has some lefties that are available. So, I need some.
What about that ghosty girl?
Oh yeah, she'd be good.
Oh, could you get her? That would be great.
Yeah, I follow her channel. I'm friends with her. I'm always posting good stuff to her in her chat, so
Yeah.
I'll talk to her.
Okay, yeah, Ghosty would be a good one.
Yeah.
So, I Killed Earl was in Sarah's chat the other day when I think it was Non-Fawn was talking. I forget who was on. And she said something that actually made sense. And I'm like, oh, I actually agree with I Killed Earl on that one. And she was like, oh, that's the first time for everything or something like that. It was very funny. And I'm like, wow. Okay, then.
Yeah, she's got some good takes, Grid.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that you're exceedingly biased because of your penis.
Well, look, I can manage. I can manage my hormones. I'm a grown man.
I'm a real boy.
Yeah, you've seen me turn down Arthur Dia's advances repeatedly. I can control myself.
That's because she's in Florida.
I mean,
You'd have to drive. You'd have to
that's
get
just
on an
a
airplane.
12-hour drive. Arthur Dia, send me your address in the DMs, and I'll show you my self-control by not showing up.
Yeah, because you don't want to get on an airplane.
I really don't fly, actually, but yeah, that's a different story.
Yes, you don't want to get on an airplane. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they treat you like a criminal when you get on an airplane.
Arthur, they do. Arthur Dia says she can pretend to be a feminist for you. You're not pretending, though. You are almost feminist. You're like feminist adjacent. In that neighborhood, you're renting feminist ideals. You don't want to buy yet. It's very funny.
Arthur Dyer made a fallacious comment. She said that Kissy Cat's a Southern Belle and they don't have high body counts. And I'm gonna go on and tell you, I've dated plenty of Southern Belles and contributed to their already high body counts. So that is fallacious and untrue.
It looks like Generally Specific was actually doing a watch party of Made by Jim Bob and Fabian Liberty. So that's weird. I didn't know that he was into that kind of thing. But all right, whatever. And yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
I think I'm gonna do a marathon stream coverage of that debate. Like a 12-hour just point by point everything about that debate.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good. Better than any debate I've seen in a while.
I saw Scott, like he was a little put off by Jim Bob, I think.
Yeah, well, Jim Bob's a dick.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. Well, I don't know. So, Kissy Cat, what do you do besides work at the pharmacy? I mean, at the hospital. In the pharmacy.
Like in my personal time?
Yes, that would be.
Okay, sorry. I didn't know if you meant like another job because I do work another job sometimes.
You have another job too?
Yeah, so one of my friends owns an independent pharmacy, and when she needs help, I kind of help her out sometimes at her pharmacy.
Okay.
So, not often. I will if she's in a bind. But
Okay.
I have a little like hobby farm at home. So I have 53 sheep and
Yes, I heard that.
Settle down, Anson. Settle down, Anson.
But they're just pets.
Yeah.
You said sheep and it got Anson hot.
And and you've got a bunch of dogs.
I've got 11 dogs. That was an accident.
Okay.
Well, I had 2 little strays come to my house, and the little girl ended up being pregnant and had 6 puppies on me, and I just kept everybody. So
that doesn't add up to the number, though.
Well, I already had a few.
Why wouldn't you keep them all, right?
All right, I've got room for them.
She's high on agreeableness grid. She's like a typical woman who's very submissive. She's very nurturing. It's in her nature. She'd probably make an excellent mom with like 10 kids or something.
Probably. Probably.
I'm just wondering if Ben ever found his bottom.
No, he didn't. That thing's lost.
I don't want to know. There's no good exit on that.
There isn't.
There's just no exit on that one. Oh, that's so I got a public service message here. I forgot this earlier. We got to do the public service message. I don't know that Clovertac has seen it, so just take it to heart. It's a public service message for your own.
Everyone does it. Now you can do it too. Shut the fuck up. Shut your mouth. Shut up. Shut the hole in your face. Like that. You can do it. Shh. Shut up. And shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
I think Clovertac needs a moment.
Yeah. And if you think that service announcement doesn't apply to you, then it definitely fucking applies to you.
It probably applies to you more, right?
It probably, if you are probably the reason for that.
Exactly.
Yeah. What I heard was advice for Arthrodaya. That's what I heard.
Arthrodaya is just kind of going a little buck wild out there in the chat. I'm actually really shocked, I tell you, that Arthrodaya is
she's spurging.
Not really spurging, but spazzing maybe. It's close. Close.
She's reaching the end of her egg utility. She's being a little emotionally unstable.
Ticky Tack says he will take the crazy dog lady. That's very funny. What's up, Ben? How are you?
What's up, guys? I'm tired as fuck.
Yeah? What do you do?
So
what is it that you do?
What is it I do? I do analytics stuff. Analytics. Yeah, you guys wouldn't get it.
Where were you on that debate earlier with
okay,
non-fon? Why didn't you feed me some info, bro?
So I was half paying attention, and I was like, oh, I need to go back and rewatch because later Grid's gonna ask me, well, how'd you think I did? What do you know how'd it go? What did you think? So I don't have any opinions on it.
Oh no, I look, I know where I messed up. I messed up in like 2 or 3 places because so I let Wick get away with 1 or 2 things, but the biggest one was when they asked me if if a president had the power to fire somebody, would that be wrong or something like that? And I'm like, well, why would he have that power if it's not good, right? Like, why would you intentionally give somebody a power to use for evil? And they were, and for whatever reason, they didn't seem to get that. And I did not do a good job of explaining it, much to my chagrin.
Well, I more so wanted to tell you what Kat did last night.
What did Kat do?
So it was like, nothing good happens at like 3 a.m, right? Right, Anson? Nothing good happens at 3 a.m. So we were both in non-fun's live stream, right? He was gaying out like he does. And Kat started throwing.
Was he in the dress?
So Kat started, don't ruin my story, okay? Kat started throwing dollar bills at this freshly 19-year-old boy, freshly 19, while she's 40 years old, saying, hey, put on this preferred clothing that I want to see you in, which was a dress, and he did it. So I'm just saying she's a little and the other thing before that happened, she said I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here. This feels weird. I shouldn't be here. So she knew what she was doing.
The fact that he had a dress is not Kissy Cat's fault.
Yeah, so I will tell the actual story. He said, if somebody sends $10, I'll put the dress on. He wanted to put the dress on. He wanted to be emasculated. So I just let him. I encouraged it. Maybe that was wrong. I don't know.
I'm just kidding. Is this really your accent? I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. It's too thick.
I don't know what to tell you.
Well, Grid, in the debate, did you guys talk about how the tariffs were calculated by chance?
No, I didn't let him go down. I didn't let him do his deep dive of why that all that goes on. And as a matter of fact, I kept steering it away from tariffs and into like what the actual, issues are with the economy. I kept trying to do that, and I kept bringing it back to tariffs. And so finally I was like, do you even know why any of this happens? I mean, and so I mean, there were several things. Like Wick kept trying to talk about how, for example, Biden renewed all of these oil leases and allowed fracking and all of that. Well, actually, technically, he just continued it, but Trump is the one that before he left office laid the groundwork for fracking to resume. And I said I'm like, I don't really have that big a problem with the job that Biden's economist did to try and to alleviate some of the pressure and get the oil price or the fuel prices back down once they jacked them the fuck up. But my problems really was with the way they destroyed the housing market with the interest rate. I didn't actually get to make that argument because we went straight back to tariffs. And so it was a lot of, and I called them so hard on so many things. And I literally told them they were idiots. There was at one point, and I had, because this was early in the debate, and I'd kind of forgotten about it. And afterwards, somebody said, "Oh yeah, when you did that, it was fucking great." And I was like, "Oh shit, I did do that." So I make a point, and then Wick starts defending it, and then he goes, "Well, wait, if that's your actual point," and I'm like, "Yeah, it'd be fucking great if you actually understood my position before you started making an argument against it."
Right.
I'm teaching debate 101 here, or some shit. Like I forget what I said. It's like I'm teaching a debate class or something, and fucking Gibbs was lost his shit. He really did.
So
hey, Kissy Cat. $20 for the
Caxo
grip.
donated $20. Super chat.
All right, so
come on, Ben. He's awesome. Don't trash the grip, Ben.
Ben is such a hater. He is such a hater.
So I'm sorry I keep bouncing around topics, but Grid, I really wanted to talk to you about this whatever podcast like interview thing that Brian did today. I don't know if anybody else saw it.
I didn't see it.
It was
Yeah, I
insane.
saw it.
So this guy thought it was a great idea. So let me see. So he met up with this chick that he found and they hooked up once, right? And then 4 months later, she comes to him and says, "Hey, I want a baby because I'm getting old, but I can't find anybody to have a baby with. Can you be my donor? You won't have any parental responsibilities. You won't have to pay for anything." And it was all laid out. And he said, "Sure. That sounds like a great idea because I'm a good person." And he did it and he signed the birth certificate. And now he's like, why is she trying to ask for all of my money that I'm rich in? Like, it's the craziest story I've ever heard. Like, the dude's dumb as hell. And the woman's evil. And the woman that was with him during this interview, that's his now girlfriend, I think she's insane too. And she's a nurse. So.
Oh, she is insane.
Yeah.
I used to watch her. She's like an influencer or something, and I used to watch her videos because she was a hospice nurse, and they were a little bit interesting to me. But yeah, she's pretty crazy.
You can just see it in her eyes. She didn't have to say anything, but it was like why would you do that if you're a guy? And he was so like dumbfounded. He was like, why is she trying to come for like $50,000 now? It's like, why'd you sign the birth certificate? Why'd you even think it was a
Yeah,
good
it doesn't
idea?
seem smart at all.
It's insane. Yeah, it just the story got progressively worse and I had to shut it off, but had to get that off my chest.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care about rich people and their problems. That's none of my concern.
And Grid,
Well-
before we close down, I think they were. Silvar was wondering if my dogs were real dogs or if they were like purse puppies, and they are all real dogs. 2 of them are Anatolian Shepherds. 1 is a red bone hound, and the others are Australian Shepherds. So they're real dogs.
Alrighty.
Anson, have you had time to reflect on our conversation with Jess? That's her name, right? Australian chick?
Yeah. I mean, you want to talk about fur burgers more? Because I don't think this is the right platform for this.
You know, I said that the live we had with Grid, what was it, yesterday, was insane enough, but that one took it to another level, and I didn't think it was possible. Grid, we talked about stuff that, like, I don't even know how. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. It was the most degen stuff I've ever heard.
No, Ben, you
Sounds
can't
kinda
go
gay.
talking about the stuff I say on other panels on Grid Streamer. He'll start treating me like Imperious. I've got an image to keep up on this channel.
A different Anson. It's a
I've
different
seen Anson in other channels.
It's a different Anson.
Different Anson.
What happens on other channels stays on other channels.
That's right.
Something like that, yeah.
I hope that's the case.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen.
No, Ben, you're bringing it up. You're bringing it up from.
I brought up like 3 different streams.
Yeah, I don't care. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of night again. Why don't we'll do some final thoughts from our esteemed guest, starting with Ben.
Why do you always start with me? Do I have the least valuable closing statements?
Yes.
That's true. I don't even have a closing statement.
Right, see? That's why.
I've been up here a whole 5 seconds. So
I know. I
Um,
was like, you're the one that wanted to come up. I was like, why does he want to come up? We're about to end the fucking stream.
I had to tell on Cat. That's the only reason I came up. So,
Mhm.
so
Cat
anyway,
would have given me the real story anyway.
well,
I'm
that's
living
what
rent
happened.
free in his head. I'm living rent free in his head.
Well, with this accent,
Rant free in
Alex,
his
I
head.
got to be
crazy.
honest with you. I'm not sure that's a good thing. Ben seems like a bit of a degenerate.
It's good. What's
100%.
fault? It's Anson's fault somehow.
Yeah.
He's
Always Anson's fault.
Yeah.
I told Ben that he's great value Imperious.
Yes, I meant to say that. Yeah, the
Great
worst thing
value. Are
Yeah.
you brought the Dollar General into this shit?
Dollar General's Clover Valley. Come on now. Do the program.
Yeah, he's Walmart. He's Walmart Imperious.
Does that if it's a lower quality Imperious, does that mean it's a good thing?
Yeah, you're not quite as bad yet, I reckon.
You reckon?
Oh God.
She reckons. Pay attention, Ben. She reckons. All right.
That's a what? You're from West Virginia? Is that what you said?
Mhm.
So which cousin's your favorite?
The one she's marrying, obviously. Shut up. Get out of here.
Good
What's
point.
wrong with you? Say
Bye,
your final
guys.
thoughts.
No, that's my final thought.
He's
See
such
ya.
an ass.
Yep. Bye.
He's only an ass because he's not getting any ass. That's the way it is. Anson, go
Yeah.
for
Hey.
it.
I just wanted to say, everybody in the audience in the chat, Greg gave y'all an assignment. Go look at his debate from earlier today. Clip that section that he talked about, for God's sakes, because he mentioned it like 5 times. I'm gonna go clip it and send to Grid a copy of it because he wants to know about it. I'm gonna put that damn thing on my own channel just so I can say, hey Grid, this is that damn clip you were talking about.
Well, hey, look,
proud of
make
that
it the best clip you can make it.
Yeah.
Do your best. Add
proud of that shit.
music, throw a meme in there, whatever it is.
Yeah, and I think on Easter Sunday, I'm going to do a marathon 12-hour stream covering that debate that Fabian Liberty did with Made by Jim Bob, because Fabian Liberty crushed Made by Jim Bob and made him look like a toddler. And that is my final thought.
That was a hell of a thought. That's a lot of thought. Who wants to go first, Clover or Kissy Tack?
I can go.
All right.
Just wanted to say thanks for having me up, and thanks to the chat for being mostly hospitable. And hope to see you guys all here tomorrow for Grid's show, where we'll send in lots of grift.
Yes,
and have a good
please.
night.
Good night, Kissy Tack. It was pleasant to have you up. You're always welcome.
Thanks.
You're very welcome. All right, Clover.
God, then there was one.
And
Yeah, I ain't got shit, man. Pull the plug on this bitch.
All right, we're pulling it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to say goodbye. I'm not sending you anywhere because, frankly, I'm about to go to sleep. So I don't know. The best thing going right now, as near as I can tell, is let me look over here. Oh wait, there's an invasion. There's a TikTok invasion going on. Hello, that's why. Yes, all right. I got you. I understand now. I got it. Give me 1 sec. Let me make this happen. Let me. It was a great night between the two shows. Absolutely had a wonderful time, and yeah, it's been really good. So, why is this not working? Well, we can't raid the Crucible because he's got it in fucking subscriber only mode. So what you can do is you can follow this link and go join the Crucible. Yeah, go do that. Ladies and gentlemen, always a pleasure. Our guests tonight, all of them were awesome. Dina especially was really cool to have on. Can't wait to have her on again. Maybe I'll be a little better prepared because honestly, didn't know what to expect, and I honestly didn't know if she was going to show up. So it was great. Remember, if you clip that one, if you clip it and turn it into something awesome, I will pay you for doing so. And if you see any other clips, that there anything else clip worthy while you're watching it, please let me know because I got to do better. In the meantime, I am a subscriber, but you can't raid if it's in subscribers only mode. I'm a member of the Crucible. However, you can't raid them if it's in subscribers only mode. But you guys can go watch it. It was a great show. You guys have a great night. As always, be cool. Wear glasses if you need them. And get off my